feel that? That crisp air. MVL football is here. All summer, these two teams worked for one goal.
Our team goal is to always, we want to compete for a small school championship.
Our goals and expectations really stay the same at this point. We plan on being in contention for the MVL championship again.
Tonight, the road to an MVL title starts. New Lexington is 3-0, beating their opponents by an average of 32 points. Although an MVL title may be on the line tonight, the Panthers are treating it like any other game.
A win this week is important because it's the next one, and we're trying to get to 4-0. I mean, yeah, people are calling it the MVL title game, but to us, we're just trying to get this next win. Because, I mean, it don't matter if you win this week and then you lose the next 4. So it's just it's important because it's the next one.
It's important because it's the next up. It's a chance to get to 4-0. We're going to play 1 week at a time, and obviously the game that's next up is most important, and we believe that. We're going to continue to talk that. I know that it's talked about as something bigger than that because of what the end result has been the last 2 years, right? But at the end of the day, it's a football game, and it's the next one up on the schedule. So we're going to put our best foot forward and prepare like crazy for this, and then on Saturday we'll look ahead to whatever's next.
West Muskingum is 2-1. But has faced some of the highest quality opponents. They beat a Division III Licking Valley team in overtime, but lost to a Garraway team that went to the Final Four last year. The Tornadoes understand the importance of this game as reigning MVL champions.
I think winning this week is obviously defending our MVL championship last year, and then going 2-0 on the MVL championship.
Winning this week's huge because the last 2 years, this game has been the one that's decided really the MVL championship.
Worked out that the small school champion has either been us or New Lex, but I think that it's also big because the way Coach Board runs their program, a ton of respect for what he does and the way they do things down there.
An unlikely rivalry.
Isn't necessarily a geographical rival, but because of the competitive games we've had the last few years, has developed into one.
It's been an odd rivalry because I think, and you look back through MVL history, New Lex, West Muskingum is not the rivalry that comes to mind. But it's the way that it's worked out, and again, it's been an exciting game. And
a Week 4 game?
I mean, the Week 4 game just came down to who had their year put on the wall, so it's a big game.
Decides a championship. This is the MVL game of the week. This is Panthers versus Tornadoes, New Lexington versus West Muskingum, and it starts right now.
We have a great matchup here. You see New Lexington coming in undefeated on the road here in West Muskingum. It's a team that's something that's further conflict here just a week ago. If we team matching up tonight, the last week.
I want to see how West M's defense handles a quick passing game for the Panthers, because they have just absolutely butchered the first 3 opponents on passes that are 1 or 2 yards down the field, and they go for 50 or 60 yards. So I want to see how the Panthers stop, or how the West Muskingum Tornadoes stop that quick passing attack.
And Ted, looking at the way we mentioned New Lexington, huge win last week, shutout win against Oregon. Talk about the quick passing game and what they can bring. What are you expecting tonight?
There's no secret. New Lexington wants to be over the top back and forth. They're happy to do it 1 point in the game coming in tonight, going to allow 8.5 because it's a testing in West Muskingum. They are a very national comparative team.
Hey, Coach Board knows going to be a test here tonight at West Muskingum. We caught up with them earlier in the week to discuss how he wants to handle tonight.
It's important. It's the next up. It's a chance to get to 4-0. We're going to play 1 week at a time, and obviously the game that's next up is most important, and we believe that. We're going to continue to talk that. I know that it's talked about as something bigger than that because of what the end result has been the last 2 years, right? But at the end of the day, it's a football game, and it's the next one up on the schedule. So we're going to put our best foot forward and prepare like crazy for this. And then on Saturday, we'll look ahead to whatever's next. They play hard, man. They're very well coached. It doesn't matter what you see on film. They're going to play their tails off. They're going to be well coached and be disciplined in what they do, and they're going to execute. So for us to be successful, we're going to have to match that physicality or better, set the physicality. We got to win the line of scrimmage just like we talk about every game. If you win up front, everything else usually takes care of itself. But there's nothing that's new or crazy or rocket science. It's football. We win up front, and the rest typically lends itself to that.
I think just the way that it's come down the last few years. It's worked out that the small school champion has either been us or New Lex, and being played week 4 kind of is what it is, just the way the schedule fell. But I think that it's also big because the way Coach Board runs their program, a ton of respect for what he does and the way they do things down there. I think similar to the way we do things here, the way that they, the things that they value, the work that they obviously put in are things that we try to do as well. And so I think it's come down to just kind of been an odd rivalry, because I think and you look back through MVL history, New Lex, West Muskingum is not the rivalry that comes to mind, but it's the way that it's worked out. And again, it's been an exciting game, and looking forward to another one on Friday. So the big key with them is trying to get them off schedule. They want to go fast at times, and so. But if you take away that first play where it's positive and they got momentum, then they got to maybe stop and reassess like where they're at, or kind of get off their script a little bit. And so it's going to be really key for us to stop them on first down, and make them really process and think about what they want to do on second and third. And then the other side is just being very disciplined with our reads, our keys, and our pass rush. Very athletic across the board. They really make you defend the entire field side to side with all the screens and stuff like that. And they try to outnumber you by some different formations and things like that. So we just got to be really smart, really dialed in and focused on our keys and communication.
And taking a look over West Muskingum here, the high school field, a great matchup coming tonight. We talk about both teams, and on the west side, you saw Coach Brownrigg say in his soundbite there, a lot of pressure here tonight looking at these two. For West Muskingum, they lost to Garraway last year, and it's another result this year just a week ago. And right after that Garraway loss last year, they played a new Lexington team and handled it pretty well. Another scenario like that tonight they're hoping for on their side.
Well, no doubt about it. Circumstances are different. Lex, they're trying to keep a 10-0 season under wraps. And Coach Board did a great job. This is just another game. It's not for the championship. It's just a game this week. And I admire that approach, because I could never do that. I would be more like Coach Brunner. I'd be saying, guys, this is a big game. So it's an interesting contrast between the head coaches.
And Ted, they said it could be a title game here tonight.
Yeah, very well could be. A lot of football left to be played, but yeah, these two schools in the small division I think have separated themselves as far as their talent and their results. You mentioned the head coaches a minute ago, Doug. I think these are two of our finest coaches in the league, with Kevin Board and Nate Brownrigg. I think you'd be challenged to find a couple better head coaches in the MVL right now.
I agree 100%. We have some really good head coaches in this conference right now.
I agree with that.
So Silas Kuhn puts toe to ball, and we are underway. And the kick is fielded deep in the end zone and will be brought out just to about the 27-yard line before he's brought down. So New Lex will get the ball first, and we will see that quick passing game from the Panthers.
Well, we saw them play, I believe it was their first home game, and the whole first half, maybe it was against Philo, the whole first half they threw the ball. So I'm sure Coach Lipscomb at halftime made an adjustment. In the second half, they came out and ran the ball downfield and scored a touchdown.
So it will be Isaiah Stevens out of the shotgun. He's got two wide to his right. And it's going to be quarterback draw first play of the game, and he's going to just barely get back to the line of scrimmage.
And last,
they're signaling fumble.
The ball might be out.
Second down.
Second down.
You know, as much hype as there was last season for Rashid Cisse, the underrated unit, the underappreciated unit was this defensive front for West Muskingum. They created havoc, were consistently in other teams' backfields, messing up timing of plays. So just that's one thing to keep an eye out. They're often undersized, but they're very aggressive, very skilled, very well coached.
So now a pistol formation. They will motion the receiver. That's Hansen in motion. And the give will go to Carson Kellogg. And once again, same result, bottled up right at the line to bring up 3rd down and 10.
This is the best defense the Panthers have seen.
Absolutely.
By far. Already.
You mentioned the last 2 weeks, this West Muskingum team has really challenged themselves with games against Garraway and Licking Valley, and they nearly won both those. Both games were decided in the final seconds. They came out on the top and won and lost a week ago.
So now 3rd down and 10 for the Panthers. Stevens takes the snap. He drops back. He's going to load one up, and it's just out of the reach. He was going for Bentley Hansen. So it's a quick 3 and out for the Panthers offense, and they'll punt it away to the Tornadoes.
You know, I think Hansen may have been looking directly at the sun on that throw. It looked to me like he lost the ball completely. He should have probably caught that ball. I don't think he saw it until the last second.
So now the Panthers will punt it away. And it looks like almost 12 men on the field as that punt goes just to about the checkup around the 36. Either way, a player ran out. I think it was Jake Anson, the quarterback, ran out on the field and then did not get back in time. So wasn't sure if there was, like you said, 10 or 11 originally out there, but got away with it.
Penalty if they see.
Right, right.
West Muskingum's going to have great field position to start their first drive here, Coach, and a lot of uncertainty before this season with the loss of Rashid Cisse, but this team has really picked up where they left off the last 2 seasons, and you can thank their seniors, quarterback Jake Anton and running back Carter Winland for that, and don't forget about number 1 Carter Smith.
Takes the snap, and he will give to Winland. Winland out left, he'll lower his shoulder, get a couple yards there.
They did. They've only allowed 8.5 per game coming into tonight, so very stout defensively.
You guys mentioned Rashid Cisse. He's right here on the sideline in front of us wearing Buckeye Scarlet here on their bye week, so he returns home for this matchup tonight. And it's Anson out of shotgun, and he will keep it on the option. He'll get a couple yards there, just to about the 41.
If I was Coach Brownrick, I would shave Rashid's head and put a mustache on him and take him the game.
Dress him at halftime?
You bet.
Dress him at halftime and sneak him out onto the field?
Rashid, of course, the running back now for Ohio State. Was hoping he would see some time in that game last week, but went to another freshman in James Peoples late in the game there. 3rd down and 7 for the Tornadoes. Anton drops back. He has all day to throw. He's going deep, and he connects. A big throw and catch connects with Tavin Bennett, and it's inside the 25.
Mason Ryder was all over him that time. There was a case for a little pass interference there. The referee let it go, but he was right there. But he made the cardinal sin of letting a guy get behind him on a deep pass, and Anton is not the guy.
We're going to get another look at it right here, Coach.
That's just a great throw and catch.
Right on the money.
Yeah, great coverage, even better throw and catch. And Anton made huge leaps and strides in the passing game from sophomore to junior year.
So the give will go to Carter Winland. Ball's on the ground, and it's right in the hands of the Panthers. That was a clear and obvious recovery. So right when they get into enemy territory, they turn the ball over, and the Panthers will take over.
Well, it looked to me like that's what we used to call the stretch play. And I don't know what they call it now, but Anton barely got the ball to his running back that time, and I don't think there's a good exchange, and the result's a fumble.
Something you rarely see is Carter Winland putting the football on the ground, and he did it just there, and Panthers able to pounce on that one.
You know, Ted, I don't think he ever really had it. It was on him, but I don't think he had a good grip on it.
So now the Panthers will take over for their second drive of the game. About the same spot where they took over the first time. So Stevens takes the snap. He's got a wide open receiver.
Goodbye.
And going down, Bentley Hansen, he could just walk his way into the end zone. A huge throw and catch. And the Panthers strike first.
And that's what you worry about if you're West Muskingum, the speed on the outside of New Lexington. Bentley Hansen and Tyson Spicer, two of the most dynamic playmakers out wide we're going to find here in the MVL this year.
Hansen had, I think, 3 touchdown catches the first game. In the last 2 weeks, you wouldn't even know he was on the field. Spicer was so outstanding, and now he's still on the field.
You got to pick your poison here.
Yep.
Just a busted coverage in the secondary for the Tornadoes. That gets the Panthers on the board. Looks like they will opt to go for 2 here in a strange formation.
Well, they're going to have to snap shift because they had too many guys in the backfield.
And there's a flag.
No one would know that illegal formation better than you, Coach.
Well, you know.
Didn't you have about 5 running backs in the backfield at once?
Well, you know, if we could, yes. But, you know, when we were at Kirksville, if we would lose a running back to injury, we had to usually move a guard to fullback and go with that.
So after the false start penalty, they'll elect to go for the PAT. Tristan Barrowman.
He has a leg for this. Blocked.
And it's blocked. So the score will remain 6-0 Panthers.
Special teams can always be so huge in a high school football game. I mean, it can be the difference between a win and a loss.
Well, I think we just saw, I think my English teacher would call that a microcosm. New Lex can score from anywhere at any time on one play.
They sure can.
It looks to me like West is going to have to earn their touchdowns against a very good Panther defense. So we'll see if that plays out and is a factor late in the game if this turns out to be a close game, because I give the edge to the Panthers if they're behind to regain the lead over the Tornadoes.
And we mentioned Carter Wendland. He saw the bulk of the carries there in the first drive, but Carter Smith, a 6'2", 190-pound sophomore. Last year as a freshman, there wasn't a freshman in the league who made a bigger impact on his school's varsity athletics than Carter Smith. I was so impressed with him last year, not just with his size and athletic ability, just his confidence. To come out here as a freshman and just act like you've been here before when you haven't. So I look for him to make some plays in this game tonight.
So Barrowman ready to kick away. The West End offense had something going on that last drive before the fumble. See what they can bring out here on their second drive.
Well, New Lex doesn't have the ability to kick it deep, but they do it. They do everything else. They onside kick. They spot kick. This is a mystery kicking game here on the kickoff for the Panthers.
So Barrowman will pooch it. And once again, it'll be great field position starting for the Tornadoes as he's not going down. Great fight.
Wow.
Right there from Wes Houston. He gets to the 45-yard line.
And, you know, Coach, that could be an issue as the season rolls along, your inability to kick the football downfield. I mean, you're giving teams the football at the 35 or 40 every time. That's a disservice to yourself.
Oh, it's a blessing to have a guy that can kick the ball all the way down the field. And, you know, we had that at Kirksville my last couple of years, and what an advantage it has when the team has to start from the 20-yard line every time.
My question to you is, you're allowed to free kick the ball after a safety. Are you allowed to do that on a kickoff, or is that illegal?
No, I think you're allowed to do that, but rarely do you see it.
Right, but they could punt it farther than that kickoff went.
Anton's throw goes right out to the mentioned Carter Smith, and that's behind the line of scrimmage. He'll be blown up for a loss of about 3.
Well, Coach Brownrick tried to feed the Panthers a little bit of their own medicine at the time with that quick pass to the line of scrimmage. But, you know, the Panthers see this every day in practice.
Yeah.
They see it play every day. So it's not a surprise for them.
You're not going to outrun this Panthers team sideline to sideline.
No.
You're just not going to.
Nope.
It's actually a loss of 5. 4 wide receivers for Anton with Wendland in the backfield. He'll drop back. And he's got time to throw. He's going to fire a strike.
That's got to be interference. Yep.
And that's going to be pass interference.
Had his right hand over top of the right shoulder before the ball arrived.
Well, as a defensive coach, I thought that was an outstanding play.
That probably wasn't a flag back in your day.
Oh, it was, but I still didn't agree. I think pass interference is the most controversial call in high school football because referees see it differently.
They sure do.
They see it differently at the NFL level. It's a tough call. You know, my hats are off to these referees.
Yep.
I could never do that.
So now it's a 1st and 10 for the Panthers after the pass interference. We'll motion Houston to the right. Anton will give to Winland. Winland hops over a couple of defenders and works his way. It's a gain of about 4 on the play.
Big frame, 5'10", 205, and Winland runs hard as we've seen the last couple of seasons. He's a downhill runner, one cut and go.
Yeah, if you're on defense, he's not going to try to fake you out.
Nope.
He's going to try to run over you, isn't he? I kind of like that.
So Anton in the pistol formation. It's a play action to Winland. He'll fire out to Houston. That ball is incomplete. We get 3rd down and 5.
Well, it was right on the money, no doubt about that. Well, Dylan, look, when they set up, Winland is 8 yards deep in this formation. That means he has to gain 8 yards before he gains an inch.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't have a lead blocker. So that's a tough call. He's 8 yards deep.
So the 3rd down and 5. Anton drops back, pressure in his face. He gets it out. And that will be
It's going to be close.
Close to a 1st down. Maybe it is.
I think that was
The
Connor
referees.
Hill or Carter's. That was Taven Bennett again. Guy who caught the long pass in the first drive.
Sticks are moving.
So that's a good for a 1st down.
We mentioned the MVL implications in this game tonight. Also, big-time playoff points on the line here for these two squads.
Most definitely. Now Anton will give to Winland. Winland gets some space to the outside. He cuts inside to about the 20 before he's brought down. Hard running from the senior tailback.
Well, Bentley Hansen's going to want to get the license plate on the truck that just ran over him. He was being blocked, and he tried to come off that block, and he had no chance to tackle that guy.
Just saw the replay of that run. Brought to you by the Ohio Educational Credit Union, proud sponsor of tonight's game.
Ooh, the power-filled eye.
So it'll be a pitch to Winland. Winland gets a couple yards there on the 1st down carry.
Coach Board told me that they came out with their spread offense on a game film they saw, and they went to the power eye, and the team they were playing couldn't stop it, and they never came out of it the rest of the night. So the power eye is an old-fashioned offense that's based just on, like it sounds, power running.
You know, going back to the whole kickoff thing, I think that speaks to how well the Panthers defense has been this year. We talked about the points that they, about 8 per game, as there goes Winland for a gain of a couple. But it talks about like how good that defense truly is. If they're setting themselves up in bad field position consistently, to have a defense that's been showing out these first couple weeks, that's pretty impressive.
It is, definitely.
The West Muskingum defense has been no slouch, only allowing 13 points through 3 games, and 2 of those opponents were top-notch opponents in Licking Valley and Garraway.
Looks like we're going to have a timeout here, fellas, for some reason. Clock.
It's the wrong score on the board. It says 12-0 New Lex. It's 6.
So currently in the playoffs, New Lexington sits in 3rd in their region, Division 4, Region 15. West Muskingum 8th currently in Division 5, Region 19. So
I looked at New Lex's division. There's only like 6 or 7 teams with a winning record. There are 6 or 7 teams that haven't won yet.
Yeah.
So I think if the Panthers win 5, I think they're in.
They're ranked higher in their region than West Muskingum, but the Max Preps Power Polls just came out this week for the first time. West Muskingum's number 10 in the entire state in Division 5, according to Max Preps.
So they go back to that power eye. It's going to be a fake to Winland. Anton's being rushed, and he'll just sling that ball out of bounds. It did not get back to the line of scrimmage. That's going to be grounding.
Good call, Dylan. You can see that from our bird's eye view. tried to get rid of it, but in order to do that, has to get back to the original line of scrimmage, and that ball did not.
There's some perks to being on the roof.
Yeah, yeah, sure is. We had a great bird's eye view a week ago at Newark White's Field as well.
Especially when there's no lightning. You know, last week Hank and I were on the roof at New Lex. I wasn't that impressed with the metal railing around the highest point of the stadium, and there we were.
Yeah, he texted me from his car and said he left you outside, and he's sitting in his car.
Yeah. Well, it reminded me of my first teaching job. We were going over the tornado warnings, that kind of stuff, and the principal told everybody where to go. And I raised my hand and said, Mr. Adams, you didn't tell me where to go. He says, Clifford, you take your class to the roof. You're the lookouts. I knew my position right away.
So now it's a long 4th down for the Tornadoes.
Situation football is favoring the Panthers.
4th and 21, however. Tough play call for a coach here, Doug, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that's when I would definitely go to my offensive coordinator and say, call something really smart. I was fortunate to have a great offensive coordinator in Greg Williams. Bless his heart, he passed away during the COVID years. Greg was a great assistant coach and took over the helm when I retired.
I was going to say, he was there in the early 2000s, mid-early 2000s when we were calling games down there for WHIZ.
I think his first year he took the Scramblers to the playoffs.
Coach Browner calling timeout here.
The old Village Park days.
Yes.
Every time I drive by there, I get a little sentimental. No more football at Village Park. It was a staple of the MVL for so many years.
Yeah, and they had some of the worst locker room facilities on the planet.
Press boxes weren't much better.
Press box was on the far side was, I think, a camper.
It was a camper. They've got a beautiful new field right in front of their high school now.
Yep. Well, this is definitely a tough one, Dylan.
Yeah, 4th and 21.
Wow. On the
that's
doorstep.
why you call timeout.
On the doorstep the second time, yeah. and if they come away with the first down here, I'll be the most surprised person on the roof.
See if that's the case. Anton drops back, rolls out right, trying to direct traffic. He fires, and that ball's going to be incomplete. So a turnover on downs.
You hear situation football so much on Sunday when the announcers talk about coaches, and that's what we've seen here tonight. Both times, the West End offense is dominating the game. I don't think New Lex had a first down. They scored a touchdown before they got a first down.
Yeah.
So situation football right now is favoring the Panthers.
So now it'll be first down on the 31. It's a quick strike. Touchdown on the last drive that went to Bentley Hansen.
Don't take your eyes off Tyson Spicer if he's on the field.
They move Schwendeman in motion and loading up deep again. Stevens looking in the direction of Hansen. That pass is rather that was Kellogg. It was incomplete.
Yeah, Tyson Spicer's been absolutely electric. As soon as he gets the ball in his hands, it's get ready for a show. He's been that kind of playmaker the last 2 weeks for West Muskingum. Or for New Lexington, rather.
It's like there's a note on the football that says, by the way, this ball's stolen.
Yeah.
And he's gone.
He's number 18 lined up all the way at the bottom of your screen.
So another quarterback draw. We saw that on their first drive of the game. And Stevens will get a couple yards.
This is the first time I've seen New Lexington live this year, Doug. You've seen him a couple times. Is Stevens a lot? Does he run a lot from the quarterback position?
Yes. I mean, he is a true threat to do anything with the football. He can run it. He can roll out, throw it on the run. He can throw it deep. He's a playmaker. I mean, he's like the riverboat gambler. He's going to roll the dice and make something happen.
4 wide receivers for Stevens. He's going to load up a deep ball, and it's a little bit too far, just out of the reach of Owen O'Brien.
Throws a nice-looking ball, though, doesn't he?
Well, he does. And where's that short, quick screen to the flanker that I'm sure West worked on all week, and all we've seen so far is footballs with stamps on them because they're flying.
I also have not seen New Lex live this year, but last year, what's the progression you've seen from Stevens this year? Because 19 interceptions a season ago. How has that changed so far this year?
Less mistakes, Dylan. I mean, he just makes less mistakes. He's definitely in command of the offense. This is, second year to run this thing, and I mean, he's like a coach on the field. I mean, I know that's a cliche, but man, he really is, and he's just not making those big mistakes. They had Sheridan had the lead, had the ball in the fourth quarter last year, and he threw an interception, an untimely interception, and Sheridan took advantage of it and won the game. But that's what I see the most of. I mean, he's a true field general, doesn't make very many mistakes.
So Jake Anton in the Tornadoes will take over the give to Winland, and once again, not much running room for Winland. He's had the one nice run that we saw down here in the red area, but other than that, it hasn't been much running room for Winland.
Well, I think Sam Weiss at a press conference, someone asking about the stats in the game, and I think Sam's the guy that said stats are for losers. Well, when you look at the stat sheet at halftime, right now, West has all the stats. But they don't have any points. Here comes the blitz.
Play action, and Anton's going to get blown up. Getting into the backfield is Hayden Lowe.
Well, I think that's a case where you assign a running back type, flanker, slot type guy to blocking a linebacker. It doesn't work at the pro level. It doesn't work at the high school level very often. And that time, that guy blew through there and made the play. He just ran over the blocker.
You can see the speed they even have on with the edge rushers.
That's right.
He was right on top of Anton before he could even make a decision what to do with the football.
People talk about team speed. Most fans think offense, but team speed is just as big a factor on defense as it is offense.
4 wide receivers for Anton. He's going to pull it down and take off himself. He's going to work his way, still short of the first down yardage there on 3rd and 18. Bring up a 4th and short.
Well, that may be his best play of the night. You don't want to throw an interception to these guys and have them start on your side of the 50. Punt this ball out and play defense again.
So the punt's away. Back deep is Spicer. He'll field it.
Look out.
And we mentioned his speed. He's going to keep running. He's got a little bit of it. Look at him just juke his way into the 39-yard line.
He is electric with the football, with his football in his hands. He really is.
The thing I like about Spicer, besides not having enough sense to go down, is when he makes a cut, it's at full speed. He doesn't lose any momentum when he makes a cut. He's still going the same speed he was when he was going, straight ahead. So he's a threat. I mean, he touches that football. I think we saw him play. New Lex had a last play of the first half against somebody. No time on the clock because of a defensive penalty. And they were 60 yards away. They threw a 2-yard pass to Spicer, and he ran about 85 yards and finally crossed the goal line. I mean, it was the longest play in history.
So now the New Lex offense will take over in plus field position for the first time tonight. Give goes to back. It is Carson Kellogg on the carry.
Just noticed that the center snapping the ball to Isaiah was his little brother Eli.
Oh, yeah. It was last year, too.
That's pretty cool.
Yes, it is. I did a story for the Perry County Tribune and interviewed the both boys. And I can tell you right now that big brother doesn't take any guff from the little brother. He tells him what to do. Oh, that's offsides. Didn't get the call.
He should have because he made contact.
Yeah, how can that not have been a penalty?
Now 2nd and 7. Stevens facing some pressure here. He's just going to throw that one away.
There's your answer, Dylan. There's your answer. Last year he would have forced that ball in there to make a play. This year he throws to one of the guys out there on the track.
You see 5 Tornadoes in the backfield chasing down Stevens. And that's what this West Muskingum defense relentless with their pursuit and pressure.
Okay, Dylan, play coach here. You got a 3rd down call. You're probably in 4 down territory. What are you going to call?
I'd like to see Stevens run the ball here.
Good call.
Little option. Looks like they're going to throw it out short. So that's what they want. Pass is going to go to Bentley Hansen, and there he goes again. all the way into the end zone. Hansen, his second of the night. This time a short throw and catch, but the same result. Pay dirt for the Panthers.
The biggest sucker play in football, middle screen.
Let's see if we get a second look at this, because it looked like a hold in the middle of the field to me. But right there.
Oh, just a little one.
That was Eli Stevens, just reached out and grabbed the West Muskingum defender. Your thoughts on that? Hold or no hold?
It's only a penalty if they see it.
Okay.
They didn't see it.
Didn't see the offsides.
That was a little obvious, though. When your arm's out and stretched and you come away with fabric, that's usually a sure sign.
And he's the center. Wasn't he a little bit far downfield?
Screen pass.
Okay.
So it looks like the similar formation where they will spread out for the two-point conversion. And Kellogg is going to be blown up. Oh,
whoa, look
it
out.
Back to Stevens. That could be problematic, but instead it's 2. Look at that.
Wow. He showed you that athletic ability right there. He was running around in a phone booth. He made it in there somehow.
Just like you draw it up. Yeah. I don't know what you do to that.
You talked about his leadership ability. He was a leading scorer the last 2 years for the New Lexington basketball team. He just got a plethora of varsity playing experience, and he and Bentley Hansen, imagine, they're classmates. Just imagine the sports they played together from youth all the way up till now. It's not surprising to see the chemistry between those two.
Well, the sports in New Lexington, that's a big deal.
Yes, it is.
You talk to a New Lexington fan, and they can tell you what happened in the big game in 1957. They know. They love their sports. They follow them closely. They're rabid fans, and that, I think, extends to the kids when they're playing. You feel that.
Yep.
The guys in the bleachers have league championships crowns and championship rings, and you know that.
When they went outside the New Lexington family, per se, to hire Kevin Board, which is something they don't normally do. They normally like to stay at home. But they went outside their comfort zone. I think they were very pleased with their hire and Kevin Board.
Well, they did that when Bill Nutt took the job. I think he was at Newark at the time. And I think they had a lot of great success under Bill. And he told me when they hired Kevin Board, he said, I think we hired a really good guy.
I agree.
Oh, look at that. Look out. Get on the ground.
We talked about onside kicks not too long ago, and that was sort of an in-between pooch and onside. Either way, it's tornado ball at the 45. And once again, to your credit, great starting field possession.
Yeah, West really needs to take advantage of this short field on this possession. They're already behind two scores. I don't think you want to go into the locker room down 14 to New Lexington.
No, you don't.
Especially without that big playability that New Lexington has. We mentioned West Muskingum's more of a grinded-out type of team.
Well, we saw him Anton make a nice pass down the field. But that's bread and butter for the Panthers.
They will send a receiver in motion and making a couple people miss, but right back to the yard of scrimmage. That is Carter Smith.
His first touch of the ball game, I believe, and he's going to have to be more heavily involved, in my opinion, if they're going to have a chance in this one.
Okay, now in the defensive coach's mind, first down is really important because it dictates what second down is. Now the defense can dictate the call. The offense is 2nd and 10. They're long yards. The defense can do whatever they want. They can rush 3. They can rush 7. They can do whatever they want on this call. Here comes the blitz.
Anton takes the snap, rolls out left, fires, and caught by Wes Houston before he's brought out of bounds. That will be a first down.
Right on the money.
Yes, it was. Great pass and catch. Anton rolling out to his left as a right-handed thrower. That's a tough throw to make, Doug.
Well, I was just talking with my old quarterback, Jeremy Watts, and he made a post. He told me that he was talking about the play we used to run, a bootleg play, and he said, and he was left-handed, and he said, but I threw better when I went to my right. Yeah. I said, now you tell me? Now? 20 years later?
Pistol formation for the Tornadoes. Anton give to Winland, and once again, not much running room there.
Boy, did you see that wall of white just move in?
Yeah.
Winland knew he wasn't going to gain a foot as soon as he got the handoff.
Panthers won that battle at the point of attack.
whenever you talk to Kevin Board and he says, what do you have to do this week to win? The first thing he says is, well, you start with, we have to win the line of scrimmage, no matter who they play. And I'll tell you what, right there, they definitely won the line of scrimmage.
So 4 wide receivers for Anton. He'll drop back, looks right, fires, and complete. Working his way to the middle of the field and brought down. That is Coleman Lloyd on the catch.
Very impressed with Jake Anton in the first half of this one.
Oh, man.
He's really putting the ball on, giving his receivers every opportunity to make the catch. We've had a couple drops in this one, but he still continues to use all parts of the field.
All right, now here we go again. 1st and 10, they're down close to their own New Lex 20-yard line. This is where they've failed twice.
So the give will go to Winland. Winland is bottled up in the backfield. Great play there by the defender of New Lexington.
First time they fumbled the ball away. Second time they had the intentional grounding call. Made it a 4th and 21. Well, look at the situation now. 2nd down and 12. So they're, or maybe even 13. They're not making much progress on 1st down in here.
They're in 4-down territory here, though. So they have 3 more downs to make 12 yards.
Anton takes a snap.
Oh, he's got a running room there. Oh.
Throws, and it is
Oh, what a catch.
And he's out of bounds.
That was Connor Hill.
It was Connor Hill on the catch.
Big contributor a year ago. And as we mentioned, they lost Cisse, but this West Muskingum Tornadoes team returned a wealth of talent.
That's the last play of the quarter, Dylan.
Yeah, that's the last play of the quarter. I don't know if they saw that coming, but that ends the quarter right there. So, last play of the quarter. Once again, we will remind you, a throwback. First time those two teams played right here was in 1965. We got highlights from that game, digging into the archive.
Wow.
So enjoy the 1965 clash between New Lexington and West Muskingum.
Bring out the leather helmets.
All right, we welcome you back. You just saw the nice throw and catch. 1st down and goal to go for the West Muskingum Tornadoes. Great job there. And the people in the truck at South 60 Films finding highlights from 1965 as Winland's bottled up there.
Well, you know, besides that highlight of when I was in the 8th grade, there's a couple other things here remind me how old I am. Jeremy Ketchman is an assistant coach here. He was a former head coach here and played at Crooksville for me when I was an assistant coach. He was one of my position players. And the principal at West M is Brady Harrison, who played quarterback for the Morgan Raiders.
This will be a give to Winland.
Look
Winland
out.
Works his way into the end zone for a touchdown. So the Tornadoes, just to start the 2nd quarter, come out and find themselves on the scoreboard. Winland runs it in.
Badly needed score right there for the Tornadoes.
Yes.
That's going to change their confidence level, I assure you that.
Well, that's the 3rd time they started a 1st and 10 situation at near the New Lex 20-yard line, and it's also the 1st time they crossed the 20-yard line. And this time it results in a touchdown. Great drive by the Tornadoes.
Silas Kuhn on for the extra point. Snap good, hold good, kick good, but there is a flag.
You mentioned Brady Harrison. We was calling a game at New Lexington at Morgan when Brady Harrison was a quarterback, and Drew Cannon was on New Lexington. Those two teams combined for over 1,200 yards of offense that night.
Well,
and Cannon had over 400 rushing. Harrison had over 500 passing in that game.
I can top that, Ted. When we played Morgan that year, they also had 1,200 yards in that game, and Morgan had 1,200 yards, and we had none. And the cannon that used to shoot off.
Yeah.
By the end of the game, I was deaf. I told Brady I would be suing him now that I know he's has a good job.
If I remember right, Harrison had nearly 50 attempts in that, nearly 50 passing attempts, 48 or 49 attempts in that game.
So Kuhn adds the extra point, 14-7 score. So Tornadoes cut it to within a touchdown. Great plays on that drive. Anton, the great throw to the receiver that he connected with. Got Bennett on that one, and then they also moved the ball down the field, and it was a pretty solid drive there from the Tornadoes.
Run, pass, both worked. You're exactly right, Dylan. That was a well-called drive and well-executed drive.
You've mentioned already in this first half about West Muskingum maybe dominating statistically, but not on the scoreboard. And I think, in my opinion, West Muskingum's doing a lot better of keeping their offense diverse between the run and pass, where New Lexington's kind of pretty much relying on the pass.
New Lexington's running game has not
they haven't established that yet.
Has not been a positive factor in the game yet.
I really like the mix of run and pass that West Muskingum has shown here early.
And we want to remind you that today's game is brought to you by the Community Bank. Now is the perfect time to join the Go Local movement by banking locally with the Community Bank. Now the Panthers will get the ball back. Their first drive of the second quarter. Kuhn ready to kick it deep.
He's been their kicker for a long time.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Man, he might be one of those seventh-year red shirts.
Silas Kuhn's kicking it for a while.
Look out, look out.
And that's sort of a pooch kick. The second one of those we've seen this time on the Tornadoes side.
I'm not sure that one was intentional, though.
Well, there's a late flag coming in.
Are they going to call late hit or a personal foul penalty on that one?
I believe they are.
So right when we think West M's got some momentum after the touchdown, strange kick and a potentially even more yardage added on. Kind of hinder that momentum.
Yeah, that's a tough call there, because if you leave it alone.
Let's look at it again. Yeah. The guy, he's down. Fair catch.
Oh, that's why.
Fair catch. So everything else is by the boards. I didn't see the fair catch signal.
Yeah, that makes sense now.
The referee saw it. Great call.
You don't often see a fair catch signal on a ball that travels 10 yards.
Well, the white hat called that, and he's down the field. I think he was waiting on one of his counterparts to throw that flag, and when they didn't, he saw the fair catch. It was a good eye by the referee that time. Or the umpire or the field judge or whichever one he is. I can never keep that stuff straight.
So now great field position for the Panthers. They take over on the 40. Isaiah Stevens will pitch it out to Kellogg. Kellogg fights his way back to the line.
This is an unbalanced offensive line in that set. They bring a tackle over and put him out there where the tight end usually lines up. Then they have a split end on the line of scrimmage. So they have and they're going to run the same thing again. There's 3 offensive linemen over there on the line of scrimmage in tight.
I think they're going play action here. Well, they got some sort of movement up front.
It was the nose guard for West Muskingum, trying to jump the count.
I played that in college.
Did you?
And I can hear the coach right now because I remember hearing it myself. How could you be offsides?
Yep.
You're looking at the football. And, that cost me a lot of laps.
2nd and 5. Stevens fires a deep ball.
Good coverage.
And once again, a little bit too much mustard. That throwing arm of Stevens got a rocket back there. He's overthrown a couple guys tonight.
Connor Hill had a better shot at that one than the New Lexington player.
Connor Hill played that extremely well. But they better be ready because New Lexington's going to line up and run a play here very soon.
You talked about all the interceptions Stevens threw last year. It seems all of his misses tonight are long, so he's not giving anyone a chance to catch it unless his receiver can run under it.
I'm telling you guys, you better put an anvil on number 18's foot.
Oh.
And more movement up front.
I think there's going to be a substitution.
Yeah, Coach Brownrigg throws his hands in the air and says, get him out.
Well, he's lined up directly across from Eli Stevens, who's 6'5", 230 pounds. So he's probably trying to gain every competitive advantage he can out there, Coach.
You know, Eli's a good basketball player, too.
Sure is. Very athletic for his size.
Yeah, I mean, this is not a kid who's just some great big kid.
Nope.
He's an athlete.
He sure is.
Great post player last year for the Panthers.
A lot of familiar faces from the basketball team out here.
Yeah.
I see Paul Stinson, Malachi Thresher.
There's some good wrestlers on this football squad, too. Spicer's one of them. Ratliff, the linebacker's another.
Kellogg goes in motion, but this is going to be a deep ball towards the back of the end zone, and it is.
Did he catch that football?
Yes.
Caught for a touchdown. Wow. What a throw and catch. I mean, there were two defenders there, and Stevens connects with his receiver in the back of the end zone.
Owen O'Brien. Name we haven't said.
Yeah, that is O'Brien.
You know, you cover Hansen and you cover Spicer, and then they throw the ball to a kid you didn't even know was on the team. The old muddle huddle trick here. Let's see what it's going to be.
Now a strange two-point look.
I think if they get the look they want, they'll go ahead and run that. But if not, you can always call them back in.
Trickery and deception in the kicking game.
Can't trust them Perry County boys.
So Barrowman's kick is up and good.
That kick didn't look too bad.
He's got a good leg. That's one of his, lesser efforts. When we've seen him in the last 2 weeks, he kicks the ball beyond the fence around the football field. So when he kicks extra point.
It's just the kickoffs that's the problem?
Yes. He just doesn't have that big leg to kick it down the field. Well, I'm telling you guys, right now the West End sideline is extremely frustrated. You had the down and distance you wanted, and you gave them a first down on 2 penalties, and they score again on you. After you work so hard to get your first touchdown, that wears on a team, that wears on coaching staff, and it's very demoralizing. And you drop your guard for a second on these guys. Now you have no idea where the kickoff's going to go.
You can see they have 6 players right up at the 50.
Yeah.
Guarding against that short kick.
Last week, where they did that, they backed up a little bit, and one of the other guys kicked the ball. It wasn't the kicker, and they recovered for an onside kick.
Let's see what magic Barrowman has here on the kickoff. Oh, he will kick it deep.
That's his deep kick right there. Not
and
bad.
It's,
it's out of bounds.
So maybe it is bad.
It's bad.
That's the same result as that little pooch kick.
Yeah.
I'd almost rather try the kick deep.
Yep.
If the pooch kick is going to go to the 35 anyway, I'd rather see what my kick team could do getting it down there.
Well, Dylan, they're not just pooching it. They're doing that, and their goal is to recover it. I mean, it's a play. It's not an accident. And I know when you're preparing your special teams, you know the guy either kicks it short or he kicks it deep. Well, he kicks it everywhere.
Sure, it creates a headache for Coach Brownrigg on the sideline. Now there's a false start, I believe, on the Tornadoes.
See Carter Smith down on the sideline, not even in the game for West Muskingum. I wonder, he hasn't been involved much in this football game, and I just wonder if there's an injury or something that's keeping him out of this ball game, because he's standing on the sidelines and he would be one of their primary go-to receivers.
We've seen him in the jet motion, but that was his only touch of the game to this point. We've got 4 wide receivers for Anton and the Tornadoes. Here on first down, he fires a strike that's caught twice by the receiver, Connor Hill. He's going to fight almost, if not to, the first down yardage.
Excellent effort for the yards after the catch. Look at this.
Yep.
He's hit there, and he is going to fight for about another 5, 6, 7 yards.
He sure did. Almost made it to the marker. 2nd and 1's a down they can handle.
So Anton in the pistol. He will give to Winland. Winland makes a couple people miss and gets probably his 2nd best run of the day to pick up the 1st down.
You know, I think if you're going to label the defense for the Panthers, I believe it's a 3-4. They have 3 down linemen, 4 linebackers, and 4 secondary players. But against a running team, those outside linebackers, they line up a lot like a 5-2 defense. I mean, that's a 50 defense right there, any way you look at it.
Winland, another touch. He bulldozes his way close to the 1st down yardage again.
I was thinking that same thing a little while ago, that they were running primarily 3 down linemen, and the other 2 guys can masquerade around. They can play linebacker, they can play DN, wherever the play calls for them to be aligned at. Kind of an amoeba type defense.
Well, if that's Eli at nose, he is crushing the West Muskingum center. I mean, at the center of that time landed in the backfield.
Now the power eye.
Look at that.
Oh, look at that play call.
Look
Anton
out.
in space. And, I mean, he took a shot there, but he got the 1st down.
He sure did. Sandwich between a pair of Panthers there. Tyson Spicer was the 2nd man on the scene. Couldn't tell who number 3 was the first to make contact.
Well, Eli is punishing that center, but I'll tell you what, the center for West Ham stayed with him that time the entire play. Never got off his block. That's a good job.
So now 4 wide. Seen a lot of formations here from the Tornadoes. They will send Smith in motion. He gets it for a 2nd time here. And he's brought down once again right near the line of scrimmage.
Visibly frustrated is Smith. Finding running room hard to come by here tonight in this one.
You know, I've watched these guys just the 3rd time, and they maintain great leverage on defense. They don't let that running back cut to the inside, and they don't let him run around him. I mean, they keep great leverage. That time it was Talon Schrindeman, and he did an excellent job on defense that time. He had the ball carrier all the way. Wasn't a chance for him to get away.
3 to the left for Anton. And more motion. By the offense, that's going to be another false start.
You know, this is a problem for a shotgun team. The quarterback gets the signal, or the center gets the signal from the quarterback, and the other guys, I think they go on the signal, but the ball doesn't quite move yet, and so they have 5-yard penalties. They have to solve that situation. They can't keep giving away. They can't keep going backwards.
They found themselves that way multiple times here tonight. As Anton directing traffic as he rolls out left, fires to a wide open receiver, and that is Connor Hill. He's got a 1st down.
Connor Hill's having a 1st half here at Whirlwind tonight.
They rolled Anton out to his left, gave him great protection. He's run away from the rush, and I think he gets a late hit here. Yeah, that's a late hit. That should have been a penalty. Great pass. Great patience that time by the quarterback.
Now the Tornadoes will take over. Again here at the 25. It's a fake to Winland. Anton rolling out right, throwing deep, and another throw and catch. This one to Braxton Brownrigg. And they'll be in goal to go.
Coach's son getting in the mix here.
You better catch that ball.
Yeah, that's right. He's got to go home with the coach.
Right. You might be having bread and water for supper. Anton throws the ball on the run as well as any quarterback I've seen.
I agree. He looks good tonight.
Give to Winland. Winland fights his way to about the 4.
Anton's a 3-year starter, so there's a lot to be said for playing experience, and he's showing it right now.
You have a 3-year starter quarterback and you're the head coach, your IQ goes up amazingly high.
And you could visibly see his improvements from sophomore to junior and from junior to this year.
Power eye formation.
It's a pitch to Winland. Winland.
Look out, look out.
Oh, he tries to get in, but an extra defender there from the Panthers pushes him back.
53 again. We don't have a 53 on our roster.
I think, if I remember correctly, that kid's name is Finley.
Okay, because he's made play after play after play defensively here tonight.
We're glancing down at our rosters and don't know.
No, he's not listed. But I believe one of the guys in the press box from the Lex, Ray Hayden, told me that young man's last name is Finley. I hope I have that correct.
So 3rd and goal from the 2. It's going to be Anton by himself, and he trots in nearly untouched. Another West Muskingum tornado. It's now a 13-21.
Second very impressive drive from West Muskingum. So the game is on here.
Yes, it is. I think right now that the tornado defense has to eliminate mistakes, because New Lex they're going to get their yards whether you make mistakes or not, but you can limit.
This is West End football.
But not if you keep giving them 15 and 5 and yard penalties.
I think New Lexington offensively, at some point they want to blow the top off the defense, but with the exception of the one blown coverage, West Muskingum secondary has done a very good job on defending the deep pass.
Well, we have a flag down. Okay, so you're going to you got a re-kick. You just they're going to they let you decline that. Okay, and yeah, I was going to say you have to kick again, and when all signs is a dead ball penalty, and so you have to kick it again. They could have gone half the distance and gone for 2.
You take the yard if they're going to give it to you.
Kuhn again will try the PAT. Again, it is up.
Plenty of leg on that one.
Silas.
That was one of those band members. I'd be ducking over there.
All right. Defense was always my side of the football when I coached. And whether I was the head coach or an assistant, and when you're the assistant and you're the defensive coordinator, this is when the head coach looks at you and kind of gives you that look like, you can be coaching girls basketball here, big boy, if you don't come up with a stop. So but this is a big series for the Tornadoes. I don't think they can afford to give away another 6 points to these guys. They may not be able to score with the time that's left, but they can't afford to give up another touchdown to these guys.
What do those head coaches tell their assistants? The paper doesn't print assistant coaches' names when you lose a football game.
That's exactly right.
Just mine.
I want to remind you, today's game is brought to you by Fink's Harley-Davidson. Live to ride, ride to live. Fink's quality cars and RVs. Quick as a wink. Deal with Fink. Fink's easy leasing and rental.
Big series right here for both squads.
6:19 to play here in quarter number 2. Kuhn will drive this one into the ground. And just falling on it there is Colton Matthias.
That's a nice job by Colton. That could have been a disaster.
The freshman getting some work on the kick team.
That young man made quite a tackle last week on the kickoff. Colton Matthias. He went down the field and if he hadn't made the tackle, it was going to be probably a 35 or 40 yard return minimum. And he made a solid tackle, and that return man went down like it hit a wall. And I looked down to see he was a freshman, and I was stunned. Okay. Don't fall asleep, defense. Don't fall asleep on these guys.
We've seen the arm talent from Stevens and 2 touchdown receptions from Hansen already in this one. And this is Kellogg blown up. Don't think they were asleep on that one, Coach.
That was blown up in the backfield.
Wow.
Number 59.
59 in your program and number 1 in your heart for West End is Caden Fleming. Heck of a play.
Shucked his blocker and made the tackle.
Well, Dylan, you said earlier that the run game is not taking off for the Panthers, and it sure didn't on that one. Loss of 2 and a high snap.
Yeah, I think they're going to need to find some balance if they want to have a good postseason run.
Press box is shaking as the Tornado crowd gets into it here.
Look out,
Another
here it comes.
deep ball. Once again,
Little too far.
overthrown. This one going in the direction of O'Brien, who already has a touchdown catch in this one.
A remarkable touchdown catch.
And Stevens has consistently overthrown those vertical routes by 4 or 5 yards.
Okay, it's 3rd and 12. This is when a defensive coordinator can get greedy and dial up a blitz, and that's when the middle screen comes back to bite you. So we'll see what West End does here. It doesn't look like they're in a blitz mode to me. Looks like they're going to rush 3 guys.
5 wide.
3rd down and 12 for the Panthers. Stevens, the lone person in the backfield.
They're probably waiting for the West End guys to jump off sides. Timeout.
Yeah, Coach Ford elects to call timeout there. Big 3rd down. You got the crowd into it now, and you got a 7-point lead. Should they not convert here, you could turn momentum over to West End.
That's right. I mean, the incomplete pass stopped the clock, the timeout, 5.5 minutes to go. Plenty of time for West End's defense to get a 3 and out and turn the ball over to their offense, and their offense can score.
This 5 wide formation. It could be dangerous back here in this part of the field. You're leaving your quarterback exposed. No running back, no tight end to help with the blocking assignments, and you need 12 yards. Those patterns are going to take a little while to develop. So West Muskingum should be licking their chops seeing a 5 wide formation.
Well, they may be, but they were not.
Yeah.
They weren't crowding the line of scrimmage. Even the defensive linemen were backed up 1.5 yards. They don't want to be off sides here, and they don't want to give away one of those little quick dink passes to a kid like Spicer, and then have him, not stop till he bumps his head on the goalpost.
You got to worry about the yards after catch.
Oh, you bet. Spicer's on the near side here, on the short side of the field.
Hanson's on the slot on the opposite side.
Well, they have a running back there now, Ted.
So Kellogg is in the backfield, and they're going to throw to a wide open Hanson, and he's tackled near the 44, but a 1st down, and a big one at that for the Panthers.
Just a little wheel route down the sideline.
He was
Ball right on the money.
You see here on the replay, he was looking at his running back and then kind of threw it downfield. So great use of eye control to make the defense commit to the running back out of the backfield.
Great conversion at time.
So the give goes to Kellogg. He'll get a couple.
They just cannot establish that run between the tackles here. Can the Panthers?
No, you're exactly right. They can. And they may not all night, but they're still ahead. They still have the football, and they have 4 playmakers out there split wide that any one of them can catch the ball and be gone. And that's so frustrating for defense.
So 2nd and 9, Hanson, or rather Stevens, fires out to wide open receiver for a 1st down, or at least close to it.
So that's the running back out of the backfield. I think that's
Kellogg.
Carson Kellogg.
Watch Isaiah Stevens lead his receiver
That's
here.
right.
Hits him in stride.
That's the exact same play they ran to this side, but he faked it to the running back and threw it down the field. So now the secondary is scared to death. They're going to get beat deep. They back off. They give the running back way too much cushion, and easy 1st down. It's like stealing. Coach Board, I'm telling you guys, he's as good an offensive coach as I've seen. I went down to their locker room after one of the games we did, and I told him, I said, if I was coaching right now, I'd have nightmares about you for weeks ahead of time. I mean, it's just a nightmare to defense this stuff, because they can throw it anywhere, and you can stop that run and look great, and then number 7 throws that little rainbow to somebody, and they're off to the races.
And what the delay here is.
The play clock is not running. I don't know if that's might be an issue with the chain. It's like the officials and the chain operator are both playing with it over there.
It's probably like those chains we used to have at Crooksville that when we had the ball, it was kind of elastic. you know, when the other team had the ball, we kind of stretch it. Okay, that's not true.
Why do I not feel like you're joking?
Yeah.
Well, that and the fact
Put it past you,
sometimes our natural turf field, the grass was 7 inches high, but other than that, we didn't do anything.
So a 1st and 10 on the 30. There's a run from Kellogg.
What a stop.
Hit hard. That is Carter Winland in the backfield.
I mean, that was that was a no-doubt tackle.
It's going to be 4-down territory without question for the Panthers. So Tornadoes still going to have to defend 3 more downs here.
Yes, they are. Tornadoes have to do what the Panthers did to them early in the game. They have to stop them on this drive.
Play action
there it is.
pass.
Oh, nice play.
And it was.
Somebody got a hand on it out there. Who was that?
It's hard to make out the number. I think it was Connor Hill.
It's a single-digit number. I know that.
It was Hill.
Watch this. Watch him just get his right hand up. Boom, right there. And Hansen still.
He almost caught that ball.
He almost got it, didn't he?
I saw that. He's super athletic, Bentley Hansen.
Well, I'll tell you what, if these guys don't go to college and play football, there's probably a job in Las Vegas for them in a magic act because they can just about do anything.
So 3rd down and 8 for the Panthers. Stevens drops back, and he's facing some pressure, rolls out left. There is a flag down, but wide open in the middle of the field is Spicer. Pass is caught. We'll see if it's holding on the offense.
Yep, good call, Dylan.
That's exactly what it is. So you can dance around and make as much magic if you want, but if the play does not result in a gain, it doesn't matter.
Well, when you're an offensive lineman and you know your quarterback's going to roll left or right, you move your feet so you don't hold. But when your quarterback does something and ad libs like that, all of a sudden that pass rusher is going in a direction you didn't expect, and that hand goes out, and you get a piece of the guy's jersey, and that's it.
It's going to turn a 3rd and 8 to a 3rd and 18. The holding penalties just really, really set you behind the chains.
You know, I don't think the Panthers are even nervous about 3rd and 18. They'll just do something down there. Look out.
And they're going to throw to Hansen, and that's right off his hands.
Boy, he was open for the 1st down, too, and he caught that ball.
He was. He might have heard footsteps on that one, Coach.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a stomp coming in. Whoa, yep.
I mean, look at that ball again by Stevens, like right on the money.
I know, Dylan.
I mean, Hansen wasn't even looking for it originally, and once he realized the ball was in the air, I mean, it was still right in his area. So, another great throw.
These 2 quarterbacks, you're going to be hard-pressed to find 2 more accurate throwers in the MVL.
So now you're in the secondary. They just threw that ball to Hansen. It's wide open. Now watch if they come back with something to Spicer to the inside. Fake it to Hansen and throw it over the middle.
A big 4th down. Ball is snapped, and there's a whistle.
Timeout.
Timeout, Coach Ford.
Isaiah is happy about that timeout call because he wasn't expecting that delivery from Eli.
3:22 to play in this first half. This is a huge down for the West Muskingum defense. If they can hold them here, get the football back. You're thinking at worst you're going to go into the locker room down 7. At best, you could tie this ball game up.
Exactly. West M has 2 timeouts. New Lex is down to 1.
And you knew this Tornado team was not going to go away getting behind early, as they've been battle-tested already this season. 2 games in the previous 2 weeks that have went right down to the final minute. So they've been tested here in the early season.
Yes, they have. Well, in this situation, when you're on defense, you're thinking, okay, we got these guys. You're on defense against the Panthers in this situation, you're thinking, oh, no. They only need 200 yards for a 1st down. So, yeah, I mean, these guys get down the field quickly, and we've seen Stevens puts the ball on the money. All right, we've got tight formation, only 2 wideouts here.
Stevens fakes the give. He was never going to give.
Max protection here.
Fires deep, wide open. He connects with O'Brien, and a 1st down on 4th and 18. That's going to make Coach Brownrigg upset.
Well, I'll tell you what's even worse. There are 2 guys wide open in the same spot. I mean, how can you not have those guys covered? How can you not have coverage on 2 guys in the same spot?
devastating on 4th
Look
and
at
18.
that.
So then now a quick play. Throw goes out right, and it's a gain of about 5.
Tornadoes really rallied around the
Goes to
football
Kellogg.
that time and brought the receiver down. Modest gain of 5.
O'Brien's made some big plays here.
He
in the first
has.
half.
Both number 11s. Connor Hill on the other side has made a lot of plays both ways as well.
Taven Bennett just went into the game for West End.
Key contributor from a year ago as well was Bennett.
I can tell you guys, as a defensive coordinator, that first down play, that can't happen. That can't happen.
So they will motion Spicer. He gets the give. He'll get a couple yards there.
Look at all those tornado helmets around the football. It's going to take a gang effort when Spicer touches the football.
The West End, the Tornado defense has completely stifled the running game. I think their longest run from scrimmage is about 4 or 5 yards, and they've only had one of those.
I agree with that.
Most of their runs are either minus yardage or a gain of 1. Look out, here we go.
So a wonky formation here. There's 10 seconds to snap the ball. They're going to have to call timeout.
Yeah, your defense has no idea what's going on here.
Why do you do that, Coach?
Well, you line up like that to see what the defense is going to do. And if they line up in a manner that gives you a great advantage, your quarterback, I'm sure Stevens, when they break the huddle like that, he has a choice of what to call. And he's going to give the key word, and the guys on one side of there are going to know they're getting the ball. Like if you put 5 guys over here and defense only puts 2, well, guess where the ball is going to go. So that time they didn't see what they wanted to. Coach Brownrigg had his defense ready. I think they did that in their previous game. And they snapped the ball for that formation. And Hank will know what you call that. I said, well, confusion.
Yeah.
But so West End was ready for it. They lined up in a manner that New Lex didn't have an advantage anywhere they went. And so,
That's what you're
they
right
burned their
there.
last time out.
Looking for a numbers advantage somewhere, and if you got it, you can go ahead and run the
That's
play.
right. If you overload both sides, those wide, they can just snap the ball to the quarterback and he can run up the middle for a touchdown.
Right.
So yeah, they had that defense well. No timeouts now for the Panthers.
Now a big 3rd down. It will motion Kellogg, and Stevens faces pressure, rolls out left, fires, incomplete.
Under heavy pressure that time was Stevens. Just had to get rid of that football. Get a second look at it here on the Ohio Educational Credit Union. Instant replay. Some tornadoes in the backfield immediately.
Oh, you're that close to as a defensive end. You think it's time for the sticker to go on the helmet. I got a sack, and you don't even touch the guy.
You reach for him, and he's not there anymore.
All right, now here's what I've been waiting for. This kid has enough leg to kick this field goal without any problem. This is an advantage that New Lex hasn't had to use this year.
Here's Barrowman on a field goal attempt. Snap down. Hold down.
I think it's good.
Kick is good.
There it is.
24-14 New Lex as they add the 3 here just under 2 minutes before halftime.
That was a great drive, fellas.
Yep.
Come away with 3 points, and that's huge.
Did leave the Tornadoes nearly 2 minutes on the clock, though, to try to get something working before halftime. They've shown the ability to get some chunk yardage with Anton, mostly when he's rolling out. He's been more successful on the run than in the pocket here tonight.
Well, the first game we did with the Panthers, they played Philo. And Philo had a 12-11 lead midway through the second quarter. And at halftime, Philo was down 25 points. It was like it was like lightning. Interceptions, big pass plays, scored on the last play of the half with no time on the clock. So West Ham, they had 151 here. You're exactly right, Ted, but they don't want to make a mistake on this defense.
I want to remind you, coming up at halftime, CA Music House. Play music for life. Join us for the CA Music House halftime show. The bands are going to be out there at halftime.
All right, head coach's blood pressure is about 200 over 190 right now on this kickoff because you have no idea what's going to happen.
They come up and clap and do the fake every time.
I think last week the kicker even walked to the sideline like he was talking to the coach, and some guy ran up and kicked the ball. And it was like something out of a George Clooney movie.
A 10-point lead.
Wow, there it is. Nice
and
kick.
There's a great
nice
best kick of the night from the Panthers. And this one's fielded and taken upfield to the left.
Oh!
Blown up at the 25.
Woo, high-speed collision
So
at the
Braxton
25-yard line.
Coach's son got blown up there.
Some extracurriculars. That's going to be no doubt a personal foul of some sort.
See the replay on this one.
Let's
Just
see who makes the tackle here. Because he's going to come flying right there. Oh, boy.
That'll hurt the hip.
I never did see the guy's number. I'll tell you what. He fought off the blocker and shed the blocker and stepped in and made a great tackle.
It's a crucial call on who this penalty's on.
Well, who's it on?
That's still waiting on the official indication. That's on. That's going to give West Muskingum a free 15 yards on top of that return. That's going to take it out to the 40.
Unsportsmanlike. No.
Oh, it's offsetting. Whew. Big break for New Lexington because that would have moved the ball all the way up to the 40.
Yes, it would have.
And last week we saw the Newark Wildcats commit half a dozen personal fouls in that game and kept Zanesville in the game for a first half.
Now the ball is on the 26 as the Tornadoes take over. It's Winland on the carry. Winland with space. Winland with an alley. He's across the 50, and he's being chased down, and he will be brought down, but a huge run as Tyson Spicer tracking him down. He's got the speed to
I'll tell you what,
him down.
Good thing.
Winland must have really good speed as well because it took Tyson Spicer to catch him.
Yep, good thing Spicer was in a position because I don't think anybody else in a white jersey was catching Carter Winland.
This is a drill you do in summer camp where you take a pursuit angle. You don't aim at the runner, you aim down the field, and he did a great job.
Yep.
Now two receivers way off to the right side for Anton. Winland the back. They'll fake to Winland. It'll be Anton on the option. He'll get about a couple.
Great tackle by Isaiah Stevens for New Lexington on that one. If he wasn't able to make that shoestring tackle, Anton might have gained a first down on that.
Everybody on the Panther defense was tricked except him.
So now 2nd and 9. Just a minute to play here in the first half. Anton rolling out right. Keeps his eyes downfield, though, and he fires to the back of the end zone. Pass is incomplete, but there are flags. It appears to be pass interference again.
They can choose what they want. Could be pass interference, could be defensive holding.
It could be pass interference on the offense as well. They're pointing at the defense.
You could see the jersey of the West Muskingum player being tugged.
We still have a player down.
Was the intended receiver. Keep an eye to see what number.
I'm thinking it was Connor Hill again, but I'm not positive.
Take a look at the replay here. The Ohio Educational Credit Union.
It was Connor Hill.
I saw the left hand of the Panther defender on Connor Hill's shoulder, so that's what brought the call. But right now, the most important thing is Connor Hill.
I agree. They're spending some time with him down on the turf. They can ill afford to lose him as he's probably been their biggest playmaker on both sides of the football in this one.
Well, Dylan, let's see. 56 seconds to go in the half. Timeouts. Is that 2?
2 for West Muskingum, 0 for New Lexington.
Okay.
Can't stop it twice.
So that means the West End offensive playbook is wide open. You can call any play you want. You don't have to worry about the clock because you can stop it twice.
And your opponent has no control over stopping it. So you're going to dictate how this 56 seconds is played. And I was expecting a very close game here tonight, but I'm not sure I was expecting so much scoring. As these two defenses have shown the ability in the first 3 weeks.
I think it speaks to the two quarterbacks we have here tonight, too. I mean, Anton, when you get him on the run, you mentioned just a great, accurate passer. And we've seen, I mean, I've been impressed with Stevens so far tonight. I mean, every ball is on the money.
Yes.
3 touchdown passes in this one. And, I mean, leading receivers, making smart reads, throwing the ball out of bounds. He's just been impressive.
You know, Dylan, I think you hit the nail right on the head that time as far as the quarterback play tonight. It has definitely been a big factor for both teams. New Lex can't run the ball. They were like completely on Stevens. Anton has made big plays.
Now with 55 seconds to go, power I. But Anton throws back to the end zone, and it is
picked. No!
For a touchdown.
He took the ball away from
the ball away from him, didn't he?
It was a 50-50 football, and Taven Bennett won that battle.
I think, let's see who has the ball first.
I think Bennett had it the whole time. And
I don't. I think the Panther had it first. No, I think you're right.
So Taven Bennett comes down with it right here, and with under a minute to play before the
This
half,
is West End football.
Might be a 3-point game.
What kind of guts does it take to throw that pass?
Bennett reached over and took that ball away from the defender. That's why you teach your defenders to go for the ball at its highest point. Don't fair catch the thing.
Coons extra point up and good.
Well, if this game comes down to a field goal, either team can win it. That's for sure. They both have good kickers. That ball went into the darkness.
So now West End, they do get the ball to start the second half, you'll remember. So
that's right.
I mean, that's a big score. With 48 seconds, no timeouts, you think New Lex probably would just let this one go, depending on their field position here on the kickoff.
At halftime, if you're at West End, you have to solve the big play. You have the running game solved. They might run the ball a little bit, but they're not going to – they should beat you on the ground tonight. But they have to solve their coverages in the secondary. Like on that one play on 4th and 18, Stevens could have thrown it to 2 different guys, and there wasn't a defender near either one of them. So, I mean, they have to come up with a solution on their coverages. So first you have to figure out what's wrong, and then you have to correct it.
I want to remind you, one of our sponsors tonight, Foxfire Schools, free public alternative education serving students grades K through 12.
And if West Muskingum had one more timeout, if they had 3, they would force New Lexington to get at least 1 first down on this series. But as it stands, New Lexington can do what they want. They can kneel on this thing if they want.
And they might get it back as the ball is still not recovered, but falling on it, believed it is the Panthers. They do. So I mean, that was those onside squib kind of in between kicks.
Well, that certainly would have changed things.
Oh, man.
You get that ball back still with your 2 timeouts, punch it in, and get ball at the second half.
West had more than one chance to get this thing. This thing's touched here. It's missed. It's missed here. I mean, it's still loose.
I'm curious to see how aggressive Kevin Board will be with just 43 seconds left here on this first half clock. You just never know.
No, you don't.
He's out of timeouts.
No, I'm not even going to guess, but I know I would have my secondary in a different zip code in coverage. I would not give these guys a chance to throw a big one down the field.
Stevens takes the snap, throws
there
it out
is.
right, and
there
it's caught by
is.
Spicer. Spicer's got space, and he's tackled at the 35. They don't have any timeouts. The clock ticking.
That's the play they scored against Philo, the last play of the half with no time on the clock.
And it appears Carter Winland is down for the Tornadoes.
We did see Connor Hill walk off under his own power before. I don't think he's back in the football game yet. But they can ill afford to lose Winland as well.
Oh, no, they cannot.
appears Hill has his knee taped right now with trainers on the sideline. So he has not re-entered, and Winland being helped up now. He's going to jog off.
All right, looks like we have a helmet malfunction as well. For Winland, they're working on his nose. Looks like he must have took a shot in the face.
37 seconds. Pass incomplete out towards Spicer. Was a forward pass. So stops the clock with 32. And now I think we can see what Coach Ford wants to do here before half.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Stevens drops back, fires deep.
He's open.
Got a wide receiver once again. Just overthrows him by about 3 or 4 yards.
I mean, he wasn't open by much, but that was enough for that kid to come down with the football. Was that Hanson?
I believe it was Hanson.
I mean, Hanson, O'Brien, Spicer, it could be any of them. And they all catch the ball equally well and run like deer. Yes, that was Hanson. He had to step on the defender.
Now 2 wide receivers to the right of Stevens. Drops back, has time, fires deep, and out of the reach of everybody.
Well, that's how your secondary should be playing. They should be deeper than the deepest man, and that time they were. Great job by the Tornado defense.
There's a flag down in the backfield. Offensive holding, and Coach Brownrigg will decline that penalty.
Yeah. Had he taken that penalty, it would have been to New Lex's advantage to be 3rd and 20.
Never want to give this team a second shot at third down.
Not at all. Now.
I think it's their first punt the entire game, I believe.
Do you have punt block on here, or do you have a fake punt?
Punts away.
It's a good one.
Don't catch it. Let it go.
It was Jake Anton back deep, the quarterback.
This is no time to be catching a punt in this game. Let that thing roll around. You don't have enough time to do anything anyway. It's going to be about 5 or 6 seconds to go in the half. I'm all for fielding punts. I think you have it's a great disadvantage if your kid does not field that punt. But in this situation, it's the last thing you want your deep man to do is try to field a punt and give that team one shot at the end zone. So what is the score?
24-21.
24-21.
If you like defense, close your eyes.
I tell you.
Yeah, this, we talked about these 3 teams who they played up to this point, and New Lexington putting together great defensive statistics, but you pointed out maybe not such great competition so far. They played Fairfield Union, Philo, and Morgan. I think those 3 teams have combined for 3 total wins.
Right.
So Anton will put knee to turf, and we are heading to halftime. So New Lex with a 3-point lead, 24-21 here. And it's lived up to the hype if they call this a so-called title game.
It certainly has, Dylan. It has definitely lived up to the hype. And the other thing is, we finally put to rest the rumor that Ted and I are the same person. So, here we are.
Well, there will be a lot more to play here in the second half. And we want to remind you right before halftime here, you're going to be taking a look at the CA Music House halftime show. Brought to you the 2 bands out here, but we're going to step aside for us right now. We got a little bit of an intermission here. 24-21 New Lex over West Muskingum. Enjoy the halftime show. We'll be right back for the second half of this game.
You're watching the Panthers on South 60 Films.
Now it's time for the halftime show featuring bands from both high schools, presented by CA House Music. Play music for life.
Hey, Panthers fans, you know what time it is? The band knows what time it is. Get on your feet and dance to Chicago's 25 or 64. playing with very juniors. What's your name? With a song made popular in sporting events everywhere. Originally recorded by the Pop Band Fits and Panthers in 2016, this time. continue to have a song all the way to number 1 on the R&B chart in 1978. Get ready to see Bobby Yaw as we play on Community College hit September. The band travels to Johnstown, Houston tomorrow for the biennial Fall Farmington Marching Band Festival. They will be one of the 8 performing high school bands along with the marching band from the University of Dayton. Let's wish them good luck. For the final show tonight, Groups Incorporated hit number 1 for 4 weeks on the Billboard charts in 1980 with a song that matched the sounds of Frank and Disco. The band closes their show tonight with the Ruby classic, Funky Town.
Thank you for watching the band halftime show presented by CA House Music. Play music for life.
welcome you back to half number 2 here at West Muskingum High School. Dylan Kearns, I got Doug Clifford and Ted Snyder here along with all of us here. Great first half, we looked at the quarterback play from everybody, and we saw early in this one, it was Isaiah Stevens airing it out, finding his man Bentley Hansen.
Wide open, uncontested catch, which is basically the story of New Lexington scores tonight.
So, that got them on the board first pretty early in this one, and then eventually, they find their way back into the end zone again, making it a 2-score game. It's just great offense so far for this one for both teams. You had New Lexington working their way a couple times. That was the 2-point conversion we saw earlier this half. Just a nifty play there for the two.
That was an accident. Come on, guys.
Great ad lib, though.
Yeah, that should have been a penalty just for deception or something.
And New Lexington got off to the hot start, as Dylan, you just mentioned, up 14-0, but West Muskingum battled back in this one and put together several good drives that ended up in touchdowns.
This was one of them. They give to Carter Winland. He found the end zone a couple times here in this one so far.
Well, they were down 2 touchdowns, and they have and they battled back. Now they're down by 3 points. But look at this catch.
I think that right there is the play of the game.
Oh my!
Just between 2 defenders, finding O'Brien there for the score.
He's got my vote.
As well. And Anton taking it in himself for another score for West Muskingum. So we mentioned there's been a lot of offense in this one so far. Definitely something that we've noticed. That's been the theme of this one. 24-21, New Lexington leads, and both teams have been showcasing what they've been able to do.
Pass interference on that call led to a West End score to make it 24-21.
Quarterback play for both teams has been top-notch here tonight. Both quarterbacks making plays downfield, hitting a plethora of wide receivers, especially Jake Anton. We mentioned falling down 14-0. Might have felt some pressure, but he made some outstanding throws in that first half.
Guys, this has been an offensive game without a doubt. But these kind of games, this is when a defense steps up and makes a play that could be the big difference in this ball game tonight. So look for an outstanding defensive play here in the second half at some point that turns the tide on this one. Or it could be whoever has the ball last.
The Carter Winland fumble on West Muskingum's first possession, I believe, is the only turnover in this football game that I can remember. So after that, it's been a pretty clean game.
Yes, it has.
So New Lex will kick away deep to, or we'll see if they go deep.
Kick away to who knows where.
West Muskingum, and this kick is 2 in a row here for the Panthers as it's away, and there goes the return from Carter Smith. Smith down the left side. He gets to about the 33 before he's blasted by a New Lex player.
Well, we're going to have a blocking in the back, I think, and I don't know if the guy really made any contact, but he tried to, and I think he's going to pay the penalty for it.
That will set West Muskingum back if that is the call here, Doug.
I think they're going to call holding on him.
Either way, they're the same amount of yardage.
Yep.
10 yards backwards for the Tornadoes.
I'll say this, too, about West Muskingum. They trailed 14. I saw them 2 weeks ago here. They played against Licking Valley in Licking Valley. They trailed in that one. They faced some adversity, but they found a way to claw back. They didn't give up. They stayed true to themselves and believed in what they could do, and they came out on the winning end of that one in overtime. Here, they faced some in the first quarter and then found their way here just down 3 heading into the second half.
Well, I think Ted is exactly right when he said that West offensive attack has been more balanced than the Panther attack. The Panthers have lived by the pass. They can't run the ball at all. So you're right, Dylan. These guys, they don't quit. They stay true to their game plan, cut it to lead to 3.
Anton gives to Carter Winland. Winland had a huge run just before halftime, setting up the Tornadoes' latest touchdown drive right before the half. Good to see him back on the field. He was banged up to end the first half.
Yeah, I'm looking for number 11, seeing if Connor Hill is going to come back in this game as well. I don't see him out there now.
Those are the 2 injuries we're keeping an eye on here on the West End side. 2nd down and 5, Anton, and there's going to be motion. He gets a false start on the offense.
Penalties have definitely thwarted the Tornadoes several times tonight, whether the defense had jumped off sides or they've had movement on offense. Or even on the kickoff, they had the holding call. Spending a lot of time going backwards.
So now 2nd down and 10. West Houston moves in motion. Anton takes the snap. He's got time. He throws it deep. He finds Carter. And it tripped up. He finds right there Carter Smith across the 40 before he is. I mean, that's a shoestring tackle. Save the touchdown.
Tyson Spicer saved the 6 for New Lexington. Well, let's take another look at this one on the Higher Educational Credit Union replay. Anton, perfect pass.
Great protection.
Right down the seam. And Carter Smith, there he is. We were waiting for him to make an impact in this game, and there it is early in the 3rd quarter.
So the ball's on the 41. They go 3 wide to the right with a receiver to the left. Pistol formation, and the give goes to Winland. Winland shrugs off a couple tackles and gets a big gain there on 1st down.
You're going to have to put more than your arms in the effort for this kid.
It's almost when Winland sees contact coming, he chooses it instead of trying to avoid it. He wants that contact.
Well, they're not wasting any time on offense. Run guys in, run guys out.
Anton takes the snap, and he's going to try
Take
to
off.
make some magic, and he's tripped up in the backfield. Great tackle there by Tanner Toft.
That was a huge play.
Oh, Tanner, nice play.
All kinds of daylight out around left edge.
He doesn't come up with that shoestring. Anton goes down that sideline a good ways.
I agree. So a pair of shoestring tackles have saved New Lexington 6 points here so far on this drive. But West Muskingum, you mentioned it, Doug, the tempo. They're really kicking it up a notch.
Now 3rd down and 7. Anton fakes to the running back Winland. He steps up in the pocket, fires to nobody. You think Brownrigg was the closest there, but 2 New Lexington defenders closing, and now it's 4th down and 7.
Big rush that time, blew that play up. One of the West End coaches here in the press box is calling for a holding call on a defensive back, but no call was forthcoming. Good pass rush that time by New Lex, number 3. Miles Wilson put the pressure on Anton.
So now here is the first punt of the day for the Tornadoes. Houston has a great leg, one of the best punters I've seen in the MVL in quite some time. This one pinned, and it goes a little bit too much into the end zone.
I was curious about that decision there, punting from the 37, because that's always a possibility, a touchback, and you really only gain 17 net yards on that punt.
Well, I think if it was the yardage was a little more in their favor on 4th down, maybe 4th and 4, they may have taken a chance. But it's a long time to go in this game. This tells me that Coach Brownrigg has confidence in his defense coming up with a stop. But you're right, Ted. That would have been a lot smarter call had that ball been down at about the 2-yard line.
So now the Panthers will take over on offense. 3 wide receivers set. And the give is to Kellogg. Kellogg with a little bit of space.
It's their best run of the night.
Just about to say the same thing, Coach. 8-yard run between the tackles is the most successful run in this game for the Panthers.
Well, look at the line splits on New Lex. Sometimes they might get a 5 or 6 foot split between their guard and center. That's a lot of territory for a guy to find a space to run. Not this time.
Kellogg bottled up, but nowhere to run there.
2 plays, 2 handoffs, so pretty clear that he wants to find some balance in this second half. I'm speaking of Kevin Board.
Well, Coach Board did this a game we covered earlier this year. They are pass happy in the first down, came out in the second half and ran the ball down the field for a touchdown. Didn't throw a single pass on their opening drive.
3rd down and 4. Could we see a QB run here? Gonna motion a receiver. And throw goes out right, and that's gonna be a 1st down. Stevens connects with Bentley Hansen for a 1st down.
You know, I specifically asked Coach Brownrigg, I said, what are you going to do to stop that quick passing attack New Lex employs? Because they throw a 1-yard pass and gain anywhere from 10 to 50 yards on it. And we haven't seen much of it. Well, that time that was executed perfectly by the Panthers.
I believe
There's going to be a flag.
that really plays to the strengths of their roster. Get your playmakers in their hands in space and let them make a move one-on-one against a defender.
I mean, it's a glorified running play.
Yep.
Your receiver catches the ball within a yard of the line of scrimmage, and you have 2 or 3 wide receivers in front of him as lead blockers. I'm surprised we don't see a couple of tackles split out wide on some of these plays.
Once again, they will motion Schwendeman. Stevens tries to climb the pocket. He escapes a little bit there, just trying to get back to the line, but it's going to be 3 tornadoes in there on the sack.
That's going to put New Lexington in a 2nd and 15, call it maybe 16.
Well, one of those tornadoes was Carter Smith.
He's making his presence felt here early in this third quarter. A big catch the previous drive, and now making an impact on the defensive side.
Well, here's where the tornado defense is broken down. 2nd and long, 3rd and long, and somebody runs down the field uncovered, and Stevens finds him.
Stevens looks, fires out to Kellogg, but it is incomplete.
I tell you, was that Carter Smith again?
That was.
You know why that was a great play? The ball was incomplete before he got there. The reason that was a great play is he come in there and he made contact with his shoulder, made a good, clean tackle, no penalty. Had he come in there and laid with his head, that would have been a personal foul, 15-yard gain. Good job by Carter Smith. Great sign of excellent coaching. Use that head to think with.
Yep. See what you hit and hit what you see.
You bet.
Now 3rd down and 16. This would be a big stop for the Tornado defense. They went forced a 3 and out to start the game, but not much
There's
since.
the middle screen.
There's the middle screen. It's been there all day. And this is
First
Bentley
down.
Hansen. And he gets to the 45. He popped a big one for a touchdown earlier in the first half on that play.
That is such a sucker play. You send in a big rush because it's long yardage, and you dump that little screen pass off, and there's no one to make a play.
Panthers going some tempo here too.
Hansen fires out right, and he's got Spicer. Spicer's got speed, and he gets to about the 31, 32.
Instead of going out of bounds.
That's right.
He spins back inside to gain a couple more yards.
He's not going to look for the boundary unless it's a clock-stopping situation. The only line he's looking for is that last white one down there where the end zone turns blue. Well, there was another defensive breakdown. Tornadoes had him right where they want him, 3rd and long, and they give up a big play.
Motion Kellogg back to the
And they're going to give him
backfield.
5 more yards. I'm telling you, defensive mistakes are killing the Tornadoes.
That's at least 3, possibly 4 offsides penalties on the West Muskingum front in this one. And got to think Stevens' hard count is causing a lot of that.
You know, with a team that doesn't blink when it's 3rd and 15, 1st and 5, that's a holiday.
Kellogg gets the first down on the carry.
Well, you said it earlier, this is 4-down territory for these guys. No doubt about it.
Sure is. Probably when you pass the 50 for New Lex.
Stevens in the pistol.
Eli Stevens pointing out the blocking assignments.
It's taking a long time to snap this one.
Play clock down to 10 seconds.
They changed the play because West Ham shifted their defense. Whoa.
And
that might be offense there.
I
believe it is.
False start. And it is, so that'll move them back 5.
You know, when I mentioned how long it was taking, the first thing I think of is those offensive linemen staying in their stance for so long.
Exactly. Well, the defense shifted down the line. I think they call it stemming, if I remember back from the old days. And they shifted, and Coach Board changed the play. And so he had to get all the signals in, and then we had to convey it to everybody on the squad. And it just, you're right, you're in that 3-point stance for 40 seconds. That's tough.
It sure is.
Stevens drops back, looks, and that's
picked.
Forced. That ball is intercepted.
It is picked, but there's a penalty marker on the field. 2 of them, in fact.
One's in the backfield here. That could be offsetting calls. Or maybe not. They're pointing at the defense.
Be a huge break for the New Lexington Panthers.
No, it's motion.
It is Tavin Bennett with
Holding.
the interception.
Yeah.
Those are definitely going to be declined. Turnover on downs. Just what the doctor ordered if you're a Tornadoes fan here, guys.
You bet. There are 2 penalties on the play, holding and illegal motion, and both of them on the Panthers. So it's going to be a good news, bad news. Good news is you had the ball. Bad news is, buddy, you're in a hole.
Here we go again, West Muskingum looking at a long field. They've had some long fields here tonight to work with.
This is when, as a coach, you have to convince your players this is an opportunity for the defense. Get a stop here, get a turnover here, and we're in touchdown city.
2 wide receivers to the right. It is Winland on the give, and Winland is bottled up behind the line of scrimmage.
Great play by the defense.
That's going to be a substantial loss there.
Yes, it is.
3, maybe 4. Tough to call long developing pass routes from this area of the field when you're asking your quarterback to drop back into the in your own end zone. Any mistake will cost you points back here.
Exactly. Like I said, this is an opportunity for the defense, not something bad.
Anton feeling pressure, steps out of the pocket. And he will.
It looked like he wanted to throw that. I think he was unsure of where the line of scrimmage was.
Yep.
I think once he was in his scramble, he wanted to throw it. We had to get another look at it here. I just don't think he wanted to commit that penalty right there. Looked like he was thinking about it.
Well, that's a ball he would have thrown his sophomore year,
yeah.
not his senior year. All right, great job by the Panther defense. They've answered the call here.
Ball is on the 5-yard line. Anton rolling out right. He'll throw to his receiver, Bennett, and he's won't get the first down, but he does make it a little bit more comfortable, but it is 4th down.
He's 3 or 4 yards short, but it's going to allow that punter not to be looking at the back of his end zone.
Right. You know, that's what coaches call a quick change situation. You had the ball, you're moving down the field, you're in scoring position, oh, bam, you have an interception. So quick change, can your defense go out and respond? The Panther defense responded tremendously.
So Houston just gets the punt off.
That may have,
I think it was tipped.
I think it was too.
And there will take at least a favorable roll for the Tornadoes.
Yeah, there was definitely a fingertip touch that football.
I know in one of the games that Hank and I called in New Lexington, the Panthers did have a block punt. In fact, I think it was a block punt for a touchdown.
So the Panthers will take over at the 46-yard line.
So, you know, here's another coaching deal. The Panthers didn't score. They had a turnover. But what they're winning now is the field position game. They're starting to, 1st and 10 at West M's 46. And like you said, Ted, this is 4-down territory as soon as they sniff the 50.
That's right.
The snap and give to Kellogg.
Oh, nice job, Carter Smith.
Yep.
There is a flag down on the play.
I think he was held, too.
Yeah, I think he made the play while being held.
Yes.
I think you're right. And he just outstanding size, 6'2", 190.
Well,
just a sophomore.
What you see as a coach is he kept that outside arm and leg free. Even being held, he maintained good leverage and was able to make the tackle on that play. But they're going to take the penalty here and march him back. And New Lex has them right where they want them.
Yeah. It's officially going to be 1st down and 20.
And an update on the injury of Connor Hill. It appears he might be done for the day. He's got his pads off, his jersey off, and he's on the sideline. He was injured on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. He's a key part of their game plan.
Now 1st down and 20. Pitch goes to, oh, this might be a pass. He looked downfield. Kellogg will get back to the line of scrimmage there.
He did well to do that.
So creative play call there for Coach Board. He I think he wanted to try something downfield, but the Tornadoes weren't fooled.
I have visions of Coach Board's playbook being about a foot thick.
One of those books you get in school where you're like, I got to read all this.
I know.
4 wide receivers for the Panthers.
There it is.
Quick toss out
There
to
it
Kellogg. Kellogg has some room. He'll dive about the 49.
You know, I'm sure Coach Board was hoping they'd pick up about 10 yards on that play. So they picked up some yardage, but I think that's a victory for the Tornadoes because they held him to about a gain of 5. All right, Coach Board saw something on defense. He's changing the play from the original one.
3rd and 14 for the Panthers. Stevens, and it'll be a false start. He can move him back more. It'll be 3rd and 19.
New Lexington doesn't gain substantial yards on 3rd down. They're definitely going to have to punt this football. Huge down here for the Tornado defense. New Lexington heading in the wrong direction.
But, you know, it sounds like a broken record, Ted. Okay, 3rd and 20. What's West going to do? You got to cover these guys. Here they come.
Spicer all the way to the top of your screen. Bentley Hansen in the slot.
We're going deep on this one.
Stevens steps up. He's hit in the backfield, and he's going to be brought down. Big sack on the play.
Nice job. 58.
He's fired up.
Cale McGreevy.
As well as he should.
Big play, Cale.
Big defensive
Huge
stand.
play.
Huge stand for the Tornado defense as they'll get the football right back. They send their quarterback, Jake Anton, back to receive this one.
You don't see that often. Nope. Whoa.
Pressure.
Nice snare that time.
Home. They're going to
Get away.
move away from that punt.
Good result from what looked to be a catastrophic beginning to that play.
They'll take over at the 19. Now, guys, we talked about offense through the first half, and here we are with 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. It's been the defense starting here.
What do you know?
Adjustments, halftime adjustments. We're here.
Offense for show, defense for dough, fellas.
These two schools have separated themselves from the rest of the pack in the small school division, with the exception of Crooksville Ceramics, who come in tonight at 3-0, but they are losing 27-20 on the road at Meadowbrook this evening. That game's nearing the end of the 3rd quarter, so keeping an eye on that one as well.
The Tornadoes offense takes over. Give to Windland. Windland, it's a hard running there. It gets about 4 or 5.
Nice tackle by Lane Ratliff.
Sophomore for New Lex is Lane Ratliff. He was a big part of their success on the basketball floor last winter. And when you hear that last name Ratliff at New Lexington, you know it's going to be an athletic kid.
Yep. I think both of his brothers are playing at Marietta. Football. Well, look out.
Look out. Snap. He feels pressure. He's
Great,
going to throw that.
Great decision, though.
There's nobody there.
Flag on the field. I didn't see what that.
I'm going to guess holding on the offense. And I think this is one you take.
Holding against the Tornadoes.
So that'll move him back.
You know, some people might think they should have declined that, but that's a good penalty to take. Cause, you know, look where the line of scrimmage is now. I mean, you're at the 13-yard line, and like Ted said earlier, you don't want to punt the football. There's a chance you're going to bump your head on your own goalpost.
Anton will move Houston to the line. Takes a snap, facing some pressure, but loading up and throwing
there
deep
it is.
for Connor Smith, just out of his reach.
Whew.
He's looking for Carter Smith there.
He had a little bit of separation from Spicer, who was the defender in coverage on that play.
You know, I thought I saw him hesitate in his route.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that?
I saw that too.
Like he kind of looked away, and there it was. I mean, that ball was right there.
And I think when he did that, it kind of backed Spicer off the coverage and created that little distance. But I think it was that slight slowdown that made that pass uncatchable.
Big play here.
3rd down and 16 to go.
143-24.
Anton pumps, fires, connects.
Look at the arm strength. I mean, that ball was a dart. That last throw, Anton threw at least 40 yards in the air.
Yes.
Gets it to Bennett. It will be well shy of the 1st down. And Houston will show off that leg again.
24-21 New Lex. 1:43 left in the 3rd quarter. You said, Dylan, this game's turned into a defensive struggle.
Who would have thought after the 1st half?
Oh, I know.
But it's that battle, that field position you mentioned, Doug, and New Lexington's clearly winning that here in the 3rd quarter.
A miraculous effort just to catch that thing one-handed by Houston.
Yeah, but look where this ball is going to stop.
And he does get a bounce. It gets to about the 41.
That's
it was very similar to his last punt.
Yep.
That's as good a result as you could hope for after that high snap.
That was a great job by the punter. Yeah, but, you know, here we go. Panthers 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line of West End. The Panthers you know they're going to get a score here eventually. And the Tornadoes' field position has been to 13 and 8 and 12. That's tough. It's like body blows. You just keep shoving those body blows in, and pretty soon chin gives up. Here we go, 1st and 10.
So the give goes to Kellogg. Kellogg just a couple yards.
Made something out of nothing, though.
Yeah, he was that Carter Smith that had him in the backfield? Yes, Carter Smith made contact in the backfield.
Just under a minute to play here in the 3rd quarter. 2nd down and 9. And there goes Kellogg. Kellogg's going to get the 1st down. Great run. And to your point, you're talking about how they came out and started running the ball here. You know, starting to show some sort of balance after hitting him with the pass attack so much in the 1st half. They'll run, hurry up, get back to the line. Quick give to Kellogg again.
Well, the other thing, Dylan, is even if they only gain a couple of yards on 1st down, they're in 4-down territory. They're going to go for it here unless they elect to kick a field goal if they get stopped. But so they can run that ball up in there. The West's defense is not. You think at halftime we got to stop the pass. We got to stop the pass. Coverage, stop the pass, get pressure on the quarterback, and all of a sudden, Panthers are running it down their throat.
Watch for the fake here, and they got him to jump.
Yes,
it worked. There was 2 seconds left in the quarter, and right there you have it.
Stevens must just have a really good hard count. That's at least the 4th time, possibly 5th. He's drew an offsides penalty.
Well, we're going to discuss this one.
Coach Brownrigg is heated on the sideline.
Yes,
he took his hat off, his headset off. He flipped his hat backwards. He just wants to know what's going on out there.
I think if you're New Lex, you have to stay committed to the run in some sense.
Offsides.
If you turn into a one-dimensional team, albeit that one dimension is outstanding, it's not long before every one of your future opponents knows exactly what you want to do as well.
I've seen this same scenario in their first couple of games. They've drawn every team they've played offsides multiple times.
And there goes the headset. Brownrigg chucks it on the ground, walks out. He's going to have some choice words as we end the 3rd quarter here. Right now, New Lexington, same score as we entered the halftime break. 24-21, the Panthers lead the Tornadoes. End of 3, we'll step aside. You're watching MVL football on South 60 Films.
You're watching the Panthers on South 60 Films.
Welcome you back, quarter number 4. This is the quarter that wins it all. 24-21 New Lex over West Em. The Panthers inside the red zone now after a 5-yard penalty of an encroachment right before the end of the quarter. So 2nd down and 1 for the Panthers. They will motion a receiver, and the ball goes to Kellogg. Kellogg bounces it out left. He's got space, and he's going to go into the end zone untouched. Carson Kellogg extends the New Lex lead with a touchdown.
You know, that play set up by the 5-yard penalty made it 2nd and 1 instead of 2nd and 6. And it's just a matter of time until somebody breaks the run, and Kellogg did.
Almost untouched. We get a second look at it there. Defender had a chance at him around the 4 and missed the shoestring tackle.
This is New Lexington football.
Not just a touchdown, a rushing touchdown, so that's got to build some confidence for the Panthers as well.
It's great blocking downfield for them as well on that touchdown. And his Barrowman up and good. So now a 10-point lead for the Panthers. And West Em here at home. They lost a week ago to Garraway, tough opponent there. Now find themselves down 10 with just under 12.
So you're playing undefeated New Lex.
Yep.
And if you're Nate Brownrigg, in your mind, you should be ahead by 10 points because you've given up big plays on 3rd and 20. You've had penalty after penalty. You've just given New Lex every break you possibly could, and you're still in the game. Had you not made all those mistakes, you're ahead. And that's so right now they have to get over that level of frustration and refocus and get back in the ball game.
Well, the Tornadoes have one thing to look forward to. It's better field position to start a drive because the 3rd quarter was not kind to them as far as field position is concerned.
Well, their defense did a great job keeping them out of the end zone until that last possession, and you start every series in 4-down territory with this offense. I'd say the advantage is all Panther.
Now the Panthers will kick it away. I think you need a quick score for the Tornadoes here.
A big return would just hit the spot for West Muskingum right now.
Kick it deep, and it's going to Smith. Carter Smith on the return.
Good block.
It's a block. He's got space. He's going to cut it back, and he's got a little bit of an alleyway. He's going to break out and be tackled about the 23-yard line. Huge return for Carter Smith.
Dr. Ted, you had like 6 numbers floating around in your head for the lottery. Just write them on a piece of paper and hand it to me.
Just a feeling if they could get a return set up there and give themselves good field position. I never envisioned it being the Panther 20, but now the West Muskingum Tornadoes are going to set up shop.
Key block right there.
And there's Carter Smith making another impact in this game. And
Miles Wilson, touchdown saving tackle.
This is a great block setup too. You saw the other returner out there, and he just led the way with that first block. He doesn't set that, they're probably looking at the other 20.
You know, and nobody blocked behind the runner, which is a key, that's a cardinal sin. So great job by the special teams for West Em. Look out.
Full pressure. It's going to be given out quick to Brownrigg. Brownrigg to about the 11-yard line.
If his blockers would have been in the right position, that would have been 6 for the Tornadoes. He ran into one of his blockers.
The inside linebackers blitz, and Brownrigg caught the ball right where they should have been in the passing zone just about. So great call that time by Coach Brownrigg. 2nd and short.
Playbook wide open on this down and distance.
Yes, it is.
It'll be Winland, and Winland is just bottled up. New Lex defenders getting in the backfield all day.
Both these defensive fronts have done an outstanding job.
Tanner Toth and I think Finley, number 53. That playbook may have been open, but they shut it down pretty quick.
It's been a quiet game for Winland overall. See if he can get it going here in the fourth.
3rd and 4, Windland off to the right. Anton takes the snap. He's going to fire it out right. He's looking for Smith in the back of the end zone, and it is incomplete. Rather, that was
great coverage by Bentley Hansen.
Looking for Bennett there.
You see Bentley Hansen here on the replay. He's going to jump up, giving up several inches. He's able to make that deflection.
Great play.
Is this going to be Silas Kuhn territory? Or on 4th and 4, do you attempt to go for it?
I think they're going to go. Yes, they are.
We mentioned both teams with great kicking games. This is a big decision on 4th and 4 for Coach Brownrigg. Anton takes the snap, rolls out right. He has the first down if he wants it. He throws it and gets a touchdown instead to Brownrigg. Touchdown, Tornadoes.
And just like that, the Tornadoes respond.
I'll tell you what, that kid can throw the ball on the money, on the run. Watch this. Oh, man. That ball had zip on it, too.
Hit him in stride. I'll tell you what, even the balls that weren't caught, he's given his receivers every opportunity to make the play on him here tonight. Jake Anton led it all out on the field for his Tornado team.
All right, let's see if Silas can cut the lead by another point here.
Snap, hold, and kick are all good.
That's a big point.
It's a big drive, too.
A 4-point lead and a 3-point lead are two vastly different things.
So now the Tornadoes defense will need to get a stop. They want to stay in this one. I've said score quick, and they did it within a minute. So.
Well, you said score quick. Ted said they need a big run back. I'm just kind of standing here twiddling my thumbs. And nice call, coaches.
I'm no coach, that's for sure. Everybody thinks there's a coach. Everybody thinks they're a coach until it's time to coach. Knowing the game, understanding the game is just a very, very small part of being a coach.
It's a great life if you don't weaken.
But you have to manage people, and that can often be the hardest task.
Well, you know, you're coaching players, but you're coaching the pride and joy of the parents.
Yes.
And
all the expectations of the community.
Parents can't be objective about their own child. I certainly wasn't with my kids. So, but yeah, it is a rewarding career if you can manage it.
Kuhn will kick it off.
Oh, look
out. Another one of those weird ones that is still on the ground.
Still loose.
And it's Tornado football.
I think I saw a blue shirt on it.
I think I did as well. They are celebrating, and they have it. Number 20 comes up with that ball.
There's a clear recovery.
For the Tornadoes.
I think it's bounces off two guys. Bounces off that guy, bounces off him, bounces off another guy. Oh, man.
Wow. What a turn of events here.
Talk about turnabout is fair play.
I mean, what was once a 10-point lead just moments ago, West M's now down only 3 with the ball in plus territory to Panther 36.
Who'd have thought New Lexington was going to start kicking the ball deep and West End was going to start kicking these little nubbers? Oh, man.
So now the Tornadoes will take over the 36.
See if the Panthers can respond.
It's a jet sweep to Brownrigg. He just scored the touchdown, and he's tackled for a loss of about 5.
Swallowed up by the defensive front on that one.
Another quick turnaround change for the Panthers. They thought they were going to be on offense, and defense is back out on the field after giving them a touchdown to the Tornadoes moments earlier. They respond tremendously. 4-yard loss on first down, 2nd and 14.
Anton takes a snap, rolls out left, looks downfield, fires for Brownrigg, and it is incomplete.
West Muskingum fans, one interference there. I just think that was good coverage, good tight coverage by Tyson Spicer. Spicer had the inside leverage and never let it go.
I agree.
That could have been
good pressure on
play.
the quarterback. Kind of forces an errant throw. He didn't get all of it. Ball was short. That's when, if you have the time to teach a kid, if you're a wide receiver and that ball is short, stop. and the defender will run over you.
He'll run right through you.
And you'll get the call.
Yep.
3rd and 14.
Anton fakes left, rolls right. He's got pressure in his face, and he's brought down. A big sack from the New Lex defense.
What a series by the Panther defense.
Can't tell who that was. That was Eli Stevens.
Johnny Robinson was in on that play as well. What a response from the Panther defense.
But that Eli Stevens is a 6'5", 230-pound player who's chasing down the quarterback.
Baby stud.
What kind of athleticism does he have? Wow.
I mean, that was the best field position of the night for the Tornadoes, and they nearly snapped over the punter's head.
Another bad snap towards West Houston.
But
But
gonna get a good bounce.
Once again, a good bounce for the Tornadoes. It's been a similar theme from the punting game at West M. It's high snaps and getting the ball off, but once again, it turns into a saving the punt result there.
Yeah. That was
well, in the pregame, when I found Coach Brownrigg, he was working with his long snapper, and I thought that's kind of odd that the head coach before the game is talking with his long snapper. Well, now I know why. I mean, who is the West End punter?
West Houston.
I tell you what, if West End pulls this game out, that kid gets the game ball, in my mind.
I mean, he had some great punts against Licking Valley just 2 weeks ago. I said he's one of the best punters I've seen in the MVL since Carson Copeland at Morgan a couple of years ago.
Yep.
Guy was a great punter as well.
Remember the sound that Aaron Bates for John Glenn, when he used to punt the football, it sounded like a cannon going off.
It's a sound I didn't hear enough. Second down.
So 2nd and 8 for the Panthers.
Whoa,
And
whoa, whoa.
ball's on the
Get on
ground.
it. Oh, man.
That was almost trouble for the Panthers as Stevens has to fall on that one.
Some uncharacteristic mistakes being made out here by the Panthers here. Not being able to handle that squib kick and mishandled snap there. All these things add up because now they're really behind it.
Almost works as a sack there.
Yeah, now it's like 3rd and 15.
That'll be a family discussion around the dinner table.
So 3rd and 15. Stevens has some time. Now facing some heat, he rolls out left, and he's going to throw it out of bounds, looking for a receiver. But it could be a late hit. A flag comes in late.
Wow. And
you know, that drives me crazy when the guy on the sideline
was all over it.
Doesn't make the call, and the guy in the middle of the field does.
There's a guy 2 feet away from that play who didn't throw a flag.
That's
right. The official from the middle of the field comes running in to throw it. I completely agree.
But by the same token, Ted, as a defensive player, you got to have some common sense. The play's over. You got it. You've won the play. He's throwing the ball away. Let it happen. It's your ball now.
And they're going to call it.
Yes, they are.
That's going to stand.
That's I have to make a note of this. That's the 7:34 mark of the 4th quarter. That could be a deciding penalty in this game.
Yes.
It was going to be 4th and 15, get the ball back. Now it's 15 plus for them and a free first down.
Now that was a dead ball foul. It wasn't enough for the first down. It's really tight here. But
aren't personal fouls automatic first downs or no?
Nope.
Interesting.
4th and 1.
Interesting. Are they going to go for this on this part of the field?
No, they're not going to go for it. They're going to draw them off sides.
It's worked before the start of the
it's
fourth
only worked
quarter.
15 times. Oh, yeah, right there, center. Yeah.
It's a false start.
Yeah. Eli twitched his hand that time.
I saw Brownrigg jump up on the sidelines. He was ready to
making
sure that he knew that was on the offense because he did not want another one.
Had that been called on the defense, blood pressure would have hit about the 300 mark.
The punting unit has come on.
Oh, man.
However,
we're short a guy on the lineup here.
That's still Isaiah Stevens back there.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I don't trust that kid.
So quarterback to quarterback, it's Stevens to Anton.
Catch it.
Anton fields the punt. He's going to take off. There goes the quarterback.
Got to return.
He gets to about the 48. So a big return from the Tornado quarterback.
22 shaking up for the Panthers that time. Tanner Toth, he's back on his feet. Well, West M's in the same position that New Lex was in the third quarter. They're starting the ball in great field position 2 times in a row. See if they can come up with a score this time.
It's a big drive for the Tornadoes, trailing by 3, 7:26 to play here, left in the game. The give goes to Winland. Winland, just a couple on the first down carry.
Yeah, there's room outside. He chooses the inside lane every time. The shortest distance between the markers is the one he wants to take.
Well, the outside linebackers that time were walked out. And just before the snap, they both walked back in to give it that 5-2 defensive front look. They don't want Winland to turn that thing and pop it to the outside, that's for sure.
Anton in the pistol. It's a give to Winland. Winland, this time he goes outside, and he's got the first down.
New Lex is employing what we used to call a run blitz. Their inside linebackers are attacking on the snap. They're not reading anything. They're just going, and that's great if it works. But if it doesn't work, there's no one in pursuit. You pick up extra yardage. We have a man down for the Panthers.
So an injury timeout right now.
Where's Cisse?
Cisse's out there in the red.
Okay, I was going to say, I hadn't seen him for a while. I thought he might be in the blue.
Yeah. He was on the sideline, and he's socializing with some, I'm sure, former friends around. I mean, it's a packed crowd here tonight.
Yeah.
You mentioned Ted. I mean, 4 rows deep on the standing room.
Yes.
I mean, it's
standing room only for sure. And they're not only standing along the fence, they're 3 or 4 rows deep all the way around.
There you see on the screen.
Owen O'Brien was a young man shaking up for the Panthers. He's jogging off the field on his own power.
There's Rashid right there.
There's Rashid.
Mr. Cisse.
Member now of Ryan Day's Buckeyes.
A lot of fun to watch.
Oh my. Yes, he was.
He could score on any play, anywhere. Just give him the ball. It appears Winland was the one down.
1st and 10, 41-yard line, 31-28 New Lex, 6:45 to go. Clock running, fellas.
Thought we'd have a good one, and we got it.
6:30 to play. Go right back to Winland. He's got.
Look
he
out!
shrugs off a
Look
tackle.
out!
He comes
Look out!
inside. He's going to go all the way for a touchdown. Tornadoes take the lead.
Boy, I saw a downfield block. I thought if he can get past that guy, he may go. No doubt about it.
The assistant coaches for the Tornadoes to our right have signaled to go for one. At first they put up 2 fingers down to the sidelines, and now they're thinking better of it. They're going to kick the extra point.
Is this the first lead for West Ham?
It is. First lead in the game.
And it comes at the 6:28 mark of the 4th quarter. That's Winland's 2nd score of the day.
Huge extra point makes it a 4-point game.
Kuhn is automatic.
And New Lexington's going to have to put it in the end zone. That changes things quite a lot. If you're a Kevin Board, you got to really crank things back up offensively now, as their offense been sputtering here.
Well, you know what I was thinking? This is the time when you watch a game on Saturday or Sunday when one of the broadcast guys says, you know, that's a nice touchdown, but maybe they should have taken more time off the clock. Well, let me tell you, fellas, you can take those touchdowns when you can get them.
Yep.
It's pretty hard. It's hard to have a 7-minute drive from the 30-yard line.
I'm sure Coach Brownrigg is like, you know what? We haven't had a lead all game.
That's right.
I'll take it whenever we can.
Oh,
get
you
it.
bet. Now, what kind of kickoff are we going to have now?
Yeah, interesting call.
New Lex has a 6-man front on their kickoff. There's some skilled players on that front wall, 24, 22, 7, and 44. I think there's only one lineman out there. Maybe two. No, I think just one. Nope. Malachi Thresher, 58's out there.
So Kuhn will attempt this kickoff. This one once again on the ground. It's going to bounce a couple times. It'll be picked up. And it's going to be returned.
Yeah.
There goes Miles Wilson across the 50. A huge return. We've seen big returns for both teams in this game.
Just the ebbs and flows of this game have just been taking us on a whirlwind of a ride, no pun intended, here at Whirlwind Stadium. But
well, you know, when you kick off in a manner that you don't usually do, it tends to, your coverage breaks down. And that time, the coverage was down the field, probably a little too far, and all of a sudden, there's no one there to make a play.
yep, got to maintain that lane discipline.
You bet. All right. Okay.
So a 4-point Tornado lead, 6-18 here in the fourth quarter. Got Stevens with Kellogg to his right. He moves him to the left. High snap. It's Kellogg on the carry, and he's bottled up. Now is where this home field advantage can play.
He hit a wall of blue jerseys right there.
He did. Wow. Well, I see linemen from the left pulling over here and kicking out on the right. But Kellogg cut that thing back to the left where the blockers vacated, so there was nothing there except blue shirts.
Stevens with a fake to Kellogg. He's going to roll out left. He's being chased. Fires and caught by Hansen. Hansen now working his way. He goes in the opposite direction.
Oh, nice tackle.
Great tackle.
Carter Smith.
41.
Nice tackle.
The 41-yard line.
Hansen thought he had the angle to outrun him, and Carter Smith quickly closed that distance.
I mean, that was
that
was a serious closing.
Smith may not have had the best offensive game, but he's been everywhere on defense.
Yeah, he's made some plays in this second half on both sides of the ball that stood out.
3rd and 6. This is Stevens on the keeper, and he's got the first down. But now he moves back. He actually might be short.
I think he lost it.
Because he went back on his own.
He did. There was not forward momentum on that. He
had the first. And
I think that's pretty generous where they're spotting that ball.
Yep.
I think it's about a yard extra at least.
All right, 4th down. Here comes the offside snap.
Both teams with 3 timeouts, but this is a huge down still for New Lexington.
Nobody in the backfield. You call number 8's number. You do.
That's close. That's close. That's going to be a measurement, I think.
It is. I don't think he was hit. I think he just kind of slipped or dove forward.
It's going to be wherever his knee touched. That's where they're going to mark the ball.
Looks like right at the 35. Yep. They're going to measure this. And
holy cow, that's the first measurement I've seen all year.
You know, I can't tell from this angle, but it looks like he might be a nose short. He might be 3 or 4 inches short on this one. We don't have a great angle, but from where that line, just the nose of the football is touching the 35.
I think he's got it.
I think he's got it just by an inch or so. There's the measurement. And it is the first down.
The closest of close. New Lexington will retain possession there. I mean, they call this a game of inches for a reason, right?
It was a game of 1.
Yeah. Because that 1 inch made a difference there.
35-31, 4:19. Both teams have a full complement of timeouts.
So Stevens takes the snap, rolls out to his right. He's going to throw it deep towards the end zone, just out of the reach. He was going for Spicer.
Yep.
I think the Panthers are fortunate they're not on the recipient end of a little yellow hanky.
You're going to see Stevens scramble out.
Right there.
Right. And, whew.
That's close.
Spicer lays out for this one, nearly makes the catch.
It's hard to outthrow that kid. He's fast.
Yeah, sure.
He is a gamer, no doubt about it. Is he a sophomore?
He is.
2nd down and 10. No motion. Hanson. It'll be Kellogg on the carry.
A counter play.
He's got a couple. That's all he'll get.
Not only is he a junior, a sophomore. Eli Stevens is a sophomore, so is Lane Ratliff. So wealth of talent in that sophomore class at New Lexington.
You know, Nate Brownrigg said he has the same situation coming up. Say he has 45 kids at the 7th and 8th grade level. He's really got some participation. Oh, they didn't cover the receivers. Oh, if New Lex had snapped that ball right away.
And a free
Holy
touchdown.
Cow.
3rd down and 10, 3:25. Stevens rolling out
Run
left.
pass option.
He's going to take it himself. And he's fighting, and he's got the first down. Gritty play from the New Lex quarterback.
I mean, that was the classic RPO call. Run pass option. A wide receiver just stood over there on the sideline reading the quarterback. Quarterback read the defense, turned it up. What a clutch first down.
That's deflating as a defense when the quarterback runs for 11 on 3rd and 10.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
High snap. Kellogg. It's about 5 or 6.
Offensive line's getting some movement in there, but I think up.
So now we got 2nd down. We're under 3 minutes to play, Coach. Where would you start? When would you start utilizing your timeouts defensively?
Not yet.
Right. Because you can't let all that time run off there.
You can't let it all run off, but you're going to have some timeouts for your offense if you're going to need them here if they score.
It'll be Stevens. Calls his own number again. We'll get about a yard.
I think if you're Nate Brownrigg, you're playing with a lead, so you want that time to run off, but at the same time, you got to anticipate a score. You got to hope for the best, prepare for the worst, right?
Your defense has to make a play. I mean, this is when your defense has to make a play, and this is when the Panthers have shined brightest in these situations. They've come up with those big first downs.
Stevens takes the snap, fires complete to his receiver. That is Hanson. It's been his guy all day today. This one another first down for the Panthers.
I was going to say, looks to be good enough for another first down.
I mean, that's great coaching, fellas. Hanson went 1 yard past the sticks. Turn around, the ball hit him in the chest.
Under 2 to play now. So maybe it is time for Brownrigg to think about those timeouts. It's a fake to Kellogg. Goes towards the back of the end zone. Oh, almost caught. Going for Hanson again. Would have been his 3rd of the day.
Off the fingertips.
That's a timeout for the defense.
Yep.
You still have 3 left in your pocket.
They can get a first down without scoring, but they'd have to get down inside the 3 yard line.
I think if New Lex runs the ball here, I call timeout if you keep them to a short game.
I'd like to see Spicer in motion here. See if we can get the ball in his hands. Play clock under 10.
Look for number 11 here. He's out here all by himself, no safety help. There's the run.
To Kellogg. Kellogg out left, just short of the first down.
Clock runs.
The clock runs. He did not get out of bounds.
It's a nice gain, though. So what are they going to need for first down? Oh, they need more than I thought.
About 3 or 4, it looks.
3rd down and 4. Whistle's coming in and it believes to be a timeout on West Muskingum's side. Brownrigg ran all the way down to that ref. Made sure that he got it
man.
off.
That's what they should have done.
Yep.
New Lex runs the ball, call timeout.
And not only do you stop the clock, allow yourself time in case they do score, but it's a crucial downs right here defensively for West Muskingum. He wants to be on the same page with his players, I'm sure.
Well, you know, you're going out there and you're telling your defense guys, we don't have to stop them once. We have to stop them twice.
Yep.
So We hold them here short of the first down. Don't get all excited, fellas, because you got to line up and play again.
And New Lexington has found a little something in the running game with Kellogg in the second half, so you really got to play all angles and parts of the field.
Well, this is the end of the field where he hit up into the middle and then popped it to the outside and went about 20 yards for a touchdown. He didn't have to go 20 yards here. 1:17, fourth quarter, 4-point lead for the Tornadoes. Their first lead of the night.
I'll tell you what, this game has delivered, right? Sometimes these games we hype up, and we expect these close games, and they just don't always turn out that way. But wow, we've been treated to a good one here tonight.
Yeah, we certainly have. We've had fumble recoveries, we've had onside kicks, interceptions, lead change, long bombs.
What you'd expect from two very good teams, both well coached, both have playoff and postseason aspirations.
I think we see two straight runs here.
I'm going to put the ball in Stevens' hands, I know that. Either throwing it or running it.
And it'll be a run for Stevens. He pushes, but he's well short.
He was the first man on the scene. Looks like 33 for West Muskingum.
That's Wes Houston. He's been punting the ball. He's made some plays on offense, a big third down catch in the game.
Yeah, he was
running.
He was the first to arrive and make that tackle. So,
well, I think it's a good call by both head coaches. Let Stevens run the ball. There's no handoff. There's nothing thrown. It's a safe call. It's a great call on defense, and then a timeout. I mean, that's both head coaches are on top of their game right now.
if you're
excellent coaching.
If you're Coach Brownrigg, what are you trying to set up for a 4th and 4 against this New Lex offense? What would you expect they'd come out and try when they need 4 yards?
Well, the first thing I'm going to tell my defense is if it's a pass play, don't lose contain and let Stevens get on the outside. Nothing good happens when the quarterback breaks your pass rush contain, because now he's got your defense right where he wants him. He can tiptoe into the end zone from where he's at, or make a quick throw to a kid that pops open because he breaks his route. And New Lex's receivers are well coached. If their quarterback breaks the pocket, they adjust their route. On defense, you have to make the tackle. You had to make the tackle. Do your job. Don't try to do somebody else's. Do your job and run to the football, fellas. Don't anticipate he's going to be tackled just because one guy has a hold of it. Remember the laterals for the touchdown.
This capacity crowd making some noise
ball
now.
Game right here.
Sure is.
See a bootleg here. 4th and 4, 1:02 to play. 4 wide receivers for the Panthers.
Don't jump off sides. Don't jump off sides, fellas. They changed the play.
Stevens takes the snap, feeling pressure, throws out left, and he's got it. A touchdown to Carson Kellogg, and New Lex, with under a minute, takes the lead in the 4th.
How can you not cover Carson Kellogg?
They lost the back out of the backfield.
They certainly did.
And he just snuck out.
Line of scrimmage.
Nobody went with him.
Nobody's on him.
Yep, as soon as he came out, no defender went with him, and he was wide open.
Brownrigg was just a second late to get over to there, but that was enough velocity from Stevens to make sure that ball connects.
Well, West End certainly didn't get to enjoy their lead very long. 37-35.
No, but you still have 58 seconds, and pending this PAT is good. You're still only down 3. So
that's right. You don't have to score a touchdown.
And you have Silas Kuhn, who I would say I'd be comfortable from 30 or 35 kicking with him. So their goal should be anything inside the 20 and try to get a field goal if possible, but easier said than done.
What a game.
Yeah,
what a ball. Read my mind over
there.
Wow.
That's exactly what you expect from two teams desperately trying to win a small school crown. And this has been West Muskingum's division the last couple of years, and New Lexington wants to take their crown back.
Well, one New Lex finished 5-5 in the regular season, lost in the first round of the playoffs. Year before that, they'd had a great season. So Yeah, I think when you go down to the Rockwell Stadium and you see the league championships, that's a huge sign because they need all the space.
Yeah, there's fewer places I can think of that are more enjoyable to watch a high school football game than the Rock. I mean, something special about Jim Rockwell Stadium. Just pulling in the parking lot, you can feel the energy in the air.
No doubt. Okay. I'm thinking I kick this thing as far as I can.
You know, they've tried it deep a couple times, but they have been burned with long returns. So you don't know what they're thinking here.
11. That's not their kickoff guy.
Now that's O'Brien.
Yeah, O'Brien, the one that made the nice touchdown catch in the first half.
Okay, so now we have a new kicker.
So O'Brien kicks a line drive deep to Carter Smith. Smith feeling his way out. Clock keeps ticking. A flag is down. He's tackled at the 25.
I think this is coming back 10 more.
I bet it does.
Now the good news on the West Muskingum side is only one timeout was called. They still have 2 remaining. They want to continue on this drive.
With the New Lexington defense understanding that West Muskingum needs yards in chunks, they're going to pin their ears back, I assume, and go after Anton.
You know, 2 schools of thought. Do you rush 3 and drop 8? At this point in the field, I think I'd be inclined to send extra pressure. Have your secondary playing off.
And I imagine 53 Fleming would be one of those extras heading in there after him, because he's been making plays all over the field defensively for New Lex tonight.
This is a great place to go for a big pass rush because West M's 90 yards away. So, yeah, this is a great place for a nice pass rush, no doubt about it.
Anton.
Oh, they dropped.
Rolling out left. Fires one to Carter Smith.
You got to hurry.
He caught it.
I mean, not only is he throwing these passes in places where his receivers can catch them, he's almost hitting them in the face mask every time.
Yep. Okay. They got lined up quickly.
Nobody on the receiver
job.
Closest to us, but now they put someone on there. Runs out just a couple yards, and that ball is incomplete.
Broken up by Bentley Hansen.
Coleman Lloyd is the intended target.
You know, I think that was short of the first down, so that may be as good as a catch.
You see Bentley Hansen time this up perfectly.
Anton couldn't see the result of that play because remember, it looked like 59 was looked like a cloud in front of him. Second down 10.
37 seconds. Tornadoes trail by 3. Brownrigg, the man in motion.
Here comes the rush.
Anton rolls out right, fires, complete.
Get out of bounds. Get out of bounds.
He stays in bounds before going out. Whew. Nervous moments there for a coach.
Yeah, at this stage, those 2 extra yards are not worth the time you're giving up to gain those. So,
guys, I was watching one of the million games on a weekend, and I saw a guy for a college make that mistake.
Yep.
Did not get out of bounds. He fought for an extra yard, and I think he fumbled.
So 3rd down and 2, 30 seconds to play.
Linebackers on in.
Anton again rolling out. And he completes it to Carter Smith before going out of bounds at the 46. Mark at the 45.
24 ticks left.
Yeah.
I think they have to gain another 25 or 30 yards to have a shot.
I do too, and they're getting yards. They're just getting them in 6 or 8 yard chunks here. They're going to need 15-yard chunks here in the next couple plays because time is not on your side. You mentioned, Doug, just 24 seconds remaining, and I would say they need at least another 35 yards to give Kuhn a realistic shot.
I do too.
Now there are 2 timeouts remaining for both sides. Anton, quick, out to his receiver, shrugs off a couple, and not only that, he gets out of bounds. That's Coleman Lloyd. Haven't said his name much today, but 2 times on this drive.
New Lexington's allowing a lot of yards after catch here.
Well, the mistake they're making is they're not tackling the kid in bounds. You know, let him catch it. Fine. Let him catch it, tackle him. Make him burn a timeout or use up clock. But they're letting the guys get out of bounds.
19 seconds. Maybe you go to the middle of the field now. Anton rolling right, throws to Brownrigg. Once again, just a couple yards. They're going to wind the
clock's
clock.
running. Go timeout.
Called timeout with 13 seconds. I don't think 5 seconds is worth 3 yards.
I don't either, and you had to burn one of your 2 remaining timeouts, so you have to save your last remaining timeout in case you do get down there. You need to stop it for the field goal attempt.
Well, this is something you practice from the start of two-a-days is field goal team has to be ready to go and run out and line up and
because you're not even going to have enough time after a play downfield to spike the ball. There's not enough time left on the play clock, on the game clock, at 13 seconds. So what they need right here is a chunk of about 20 to 25 yards and a quick timeout. That's the perfect scenario for West Muskingum.
Well, New Lex is letting him have the sideline catch. They're not letting anything get behind him. Doing a good job of that.
You can use the middle of the field with your 1 timeout remaining.
Yeah. I like that play. The defender forced the man to go sideways. He wasn't going forward when he went out of bounds, so the clock continued to run.
And although,
like you said, a 2 or 3 yard, 4 yard gain.
Although he did go out of bounds, he was thrown out backwards, which means the clock remains running.
Yep.
Has to be forward momentum carrying you out of bounds for the clock to stop.
So let's see. It's New Lex has the middle of the field covered. They have a guy in the deep middle. They're backing off.
Anton takes the snap, feeling pressure, loads it up. This might be an end zone shot, but 3 defenders are there. It is incomplete. So almost on the interception was Owen O'Brien.
I don't think Coach Brownreich has 3 in mind. I think he has 6 in mind with that play call we just saw. Apparently they just discussed we got time for 2 long shots. Let's just take them.
Yep. Well, the Panther defense didn't bite. I saw the corner on the far side. Before the snap, he was running back already. Had a deep safety in the middle of the field. They only rushed 3 guys. And look where the secondary is. The secondary is inside the 25. This is a touchdown or nothing, fellas.
Play of the game. Anton steps up. 3rd down and 6. Loads it up for the back of the end zone. It is incomplete. 0s on the play clock, 0s on the game clock, and the game is over. The New Lexington Panthers remain undefeated. They come on the road and take down West Muskingum.
When the game ends, the ball's in the end zone for the winning score. You can't ask for more than that as far as excitement is concerned.
Yeah, that was an outstanding football game we were treated to tonight. A couple different tornadoes had a chance at that Hail Mary there, but great defensive position by the Panthers to deflect that one down to the ground.
An absolute classic here in West Muskingum that we have. You can't ask for anything more of this. 38-35 final. It was a 3-point lead at halftime, 3-point lead here to end the game. And how about the Panthers coming in here, starting the year 4-0?
How big was that field goal
Yeah.
at the end of the first half?
I believe that the Tornadoes have played their toughest stretch of 3 games in weeks 2, 3, and 4. And now their schedule is favorable going forward. It's all MVL games, and their crossover games this year, I believe, are with Maysville and Riverview, if I'm thinking correctly. So favorable schedule ahead for West Muskingum. I expect them to be another return to the playoffs. New Lexington stays unbeaten in a huge game looming a week from tonight at the Rock against the Tri-Valley Scotties.
It will be. It's going to be a good one there. Tri-Valley taking on New Lexington. But for tonight, the final 38-35. Panthers beat the Tornadoes. They remain undefeated. We'll step aside and we'll be back with the post-game show, and we'll also give you the City Tire Pro Player of the Game. We'll step aside. You're watching MVL football on South 60 Films.
You're watching the Panthers on South 60 Films.
Welcome back to West Muskingum High School, where we have, just an absolute classic last night. Tonight that we have just so much. It was 38, 30, 35, three-point win. There was so much scoring you lose track. But, a huge win there for the New Lexington Panthers. A drive, just to think about the drive the coach board had to go down the field and score with that little time, a fourth down, crucial play call. He had time to make that call, and sure enough, they get the job done.
Well, think back, what was it, 4th and less than a foot, and they made it by an inch on that last drive. So it was a heck of a game. West Ham had one lead, and they just couldn't hang on.
On the West Ham side, they fall to 2-2, which in reality, they played two tough opponents that you were talking about, Ted, just not too long ago, about the opponents that they face. Losing to Garraway by 7, losing a heartbreaker here at home by 3. Where do the Tornadoes go from here?
I think the Tornadoes will be just fine. The remaining 7 games are all league games. They got 4 more small school opponents and 2 crossover games. So as we dip into league play, I think West Muskingum's in fantastic shape. I think they'll be just fine and make the playoffs yet again in Division 5 Region 19.
As for the Panthers, they had a lot of weapons. We seen O'Brien with a touchdown catch. We saw Hansen with a couple. We saw the running back. We saw Kellogg get in the end zone as well. So they have a lot of weapons that they can use offensively. Yep. How does Coach Board utilize those?
Well, I like his approach coming into the game tonight. He didn't tell his kids this was for the league championship. He said just another game. They spread the ball around. I don't see any selfishness on this Panther team. They block for each other when the other catches the ball. They do a great job.
Stevens only had the 1 interception in the game, but that was a great turnover there for Bennett on the Tornadoes. Once again, we saw Kellogg. He had 1 rushing touchdown, 1 receiving touchdown, and they found a way to win the game.
And on that play right there when he scored a touchdown, Kellogg, Owen O'Brien had a tremendous block from his wide receiver position. So I don't know. It's just they block for each other. But Ted called this one. He said they need a big return.
And that's exactly what they got here. Carter Smith going down the sideline.
Yeah, very quiet first half for Carter. Made a splash here in the second half. Made a huge, about a 50-yard catch in the third quarter, and his impact was felt defensively and on special teams as well.
What's this pass?
Play set up. This throw right here by Anton. Connecting with Brownrigg. That was the score that put him up. And of course we had the muffed kick, which didn't result in much on the other side for the Tornadoes. They were able to get in good field position right after the score, but that was one that they were able to get the ball back on.
This is one where they had some great blocks down the field, great blocking at the line of scrimmage.
Saw Carter Winland work his way into the end zone. Just a great job. So, just an absolute classic here tonight. That was the play right there that sealed the deal. Touchdown under a minute left on 4th down. That's a gutsy play, gutsy throw and catch there from Isaiah Stevens. And there's no denying, we're going to go ahead and name him our Coshocton City Pro Tires and Buckeye Tire Pros player of the game. Isaiah Stevens, 4 touchdown passes, tons of yards in this one. He even ran the ball a little bit tonight. We saw everything from that kid.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Yeah. Ted, what impressed you with Stevens tonight?
Stevens, his poise in the pocket and his decision making is top notch. But one thing that stood out for me is team speed for New Lexington. They have it all over the field. And if there's one thing you can nitpick about, maybe they could be more committed to the run between the tackles and be a little better at run blocking.
Yeah. I think those are a couple areas right now. They came out in the second half and showcased that they were able to do a little bit of both there. Kellogg obviously making his impact. And I think on the West Muskingum side going back, if they were to win this game, I think we may be saying Jake Anton wins the award. Because we talked about it all night. His ability to throw on the run is some of the most impressive stuff we've seen in this league.
Definitely the 2 best quarterbacks I've seen all year in the same game. My goodness. Great quarterbacks.
Yeah, Anton's accuracy was outstanding tonight. He was giving his receivers every opportunity to make plays.
Well, that's what you have when you have 2 senior quarterbacks that have started more than 1 season. So it's a great advantage for you when you're a head coach.
Sure is.
So now the New Lexington Panthers, they're going to have to ice up and get prepared for another tough week taking on Tri-Valley. So that'll be a tough matchup for them. But once again, right now, they're undefeated, sitting at 4-0, and something to look forward to. As for the West Muskingum Tornadoes, mentioned their schedule getting a little bit lighter now going forward. 2-2 on the year, looking to bounce back next week. But from here at West Muskingum, the final score, New Lexington comes in and wins 38-35 in the game that some were saying was a title game, and that was an absolute classic we were treated to tonight. It was just a great stuff from both teams, but yeah, the final tonight, 38-35, and until next time, you've been watching MVL football right here on South 60 Film.